pass, rolling to his right. They throw it, the in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good evening, everyone. Welcome to our coverage here of high school football action. It is Section 8 AA football between the Hawley Golden Nuggets and their 2023 season home opener, hosting the Frazee Hornets, also part of Section 8 AA this year again as well. Both teams start out the year with a loss, 0-1. A loss for the Hawley Nuggets against Perham last week on the road over there, 24-0. And the Frazee Hornets came up short against Staples Motley, 28-14 in their first game of the 2023 football season. So both teams trying to amend a loss to get the season started. And we'll see how that rolls here tonight at Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex. My name is Kurt Fillion with the broadcast call tonight. Nathan Stowell will be joining me later on here in the broadcast to provide us some color commentary as well. We welcome you aboard to yourliveevent.com, powered by Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. In our pregame show, we'll get a chance to chat with the head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, Peter Knapps. He'll talk about the early part of the season, talk about that first matchup against the Perham Yellow Jackets last week and how things looked overall as a team. We'll also have a special tribute that will be coming up here in our pregame show as well for one of the senior members that wears number 76 for the Nuggets, Alex Paulson, doing a tribute here to his late uncle, Ross Brennan. We'll talk to him in our pregame show as well. We'll take a look at the other action around the area, too, between the sections and a little bit more, including our starting lineups for this one tonight. It's the Hawley Nuggets hosting the Frazee Hornets in an 8AA matchup, also a conference matchup for these two teams on yourliveevent.com. We'll be back with more on our pregame show. Head coach Peter Knapps will join us when we return from Hawley right after this.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. Those are the values taught by Hawley Public Schools. Hawley's PBIS team, Positive Behavior, Interventions, and Supports, aims to encourage a positive and respectful learning environment and uphold the social and emotional well-being of all students and staff. Learn more about Hawley Public Schools at hawley.k12.mn.us. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
At the junction of Highway 59 and 200, you'll enjoy a stop at Pump 24 Corner Market. Gas and diesel islands are available 24 hours for all vehicles. In the Corner Market, you'll find convenience foods, grocery, hot stuff subs and wraps, pizzas, salads, and more, including the Plump 24 roasted chicken. You can add mashed potatoes and extras for the full meal. Hot coffee is always available every day at Pump 24 Corner Market in Mahnomen.
Peter Knapps joining us here for our pregame show as they get set for the home opener tonight. Frazee Hornets are in town in a section and a conference matchup for you guys here. Talk about the start of the year first off and just how things have been looking for the Nuggets.
We had a really good preseason. Things went through. The only bad thing coming out of preseason was the injury to Devon Stock. His knee is just a mess right now, and he's going to have multiple procedures coming up before he's going to be back to normal. So that's really unfortunate because he's put in a ton of work and was just a newly elected captain and whatnot. And it's, I feel bad for the kid, feel bad for his family, and feel bad for his teammates too, because they were expecting him to be a big part of this team. But leading into game one, I thought we had things squared away and we were going to be fairly solid and ready to go. We're fine, but we weren't ready to play football week one. And this is a game where if you're not emotionally ready to go and you're not zoned in and have some intensity, it goes south in a hurry. And that's what happened with us. Had a couple blown assignments early in the first quarter, and that put us way back in the race. And our defense really tightened things up and got better as the game went on, but we never really got into a rhythm with our offense. So we worked on that this week, and we had a lot of good things came out of practice this week. We learned a lot. Our kids had a great attitude this week, and they assured me that they would be ready to play tonight.
That's one thing you like to see too, knowing that they've got that attitude that, hey, we might have done things not the correct way or made a few mistakes here and there in that first game, but now it's just putting that aside and moving forward. That's about all you can do, and it's, I'm sure, as a coaching staff, nice to see out of the players as well.
Yeah, certainly, and that's what we talk about all the time too. If you do make a mistake on the football field, you have to move on. You have to have immediate amnesia. It goes wrong, you have to move on to the next play, because the most important football play is the next one. And it doesn't matter what what went down there. You got to be ready to go every single time. And we made some really nice adjustments this week. We're going to have better center quarterback exchanges. And our offense is predicated on that ball getting to the quarterback and timing with the mesh and the handoff and the reads for whether it's going to be a pass or a run. So we made some adjustments there, and I'm excited to get this one rolling.
Frazee, what do you know about them coming into this one?
Very similar to the way they were last year. They're a hard-nosed team. They're going to come at you straight up and here's what we're doing. Come and stop it. They've got some really hard-nosed running backs. They've got a couple quarterbacks that both played, and they both play receiver as well. So they've got a two-headed monster there. And their offensive line and defensive line, they're just tough kids. They get after it, and they play power football. There's some play action. They're not super complicated, but again, you have to stop it. So we have a pretty good idea of what they're going to do. If they've got some tricks and some wrinkles, we just hope our kids can be better athletes when those plays come up. So Russ does a nice job over there. His kids really respond well to him, and I don't expect anything other than a good old-fashioned slugfest tonight.
Peter, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
You bet. Thank you.
Peter Knapps, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, joining us here on our pregame show. And no, that was not planned to have Eternal Flame blaring in the background before Coach Knapps and I for our pregame interview. But that's just the way things go sometimes. Nuggets get set to host the Frazee Hornets here tonight in a Section 8 AA football contest here on YourLiveEvent.com. We appreciate you being with us, and a special thanks to all of our sponsors for helping make our broadcast possible. Also a thanks to senior Alex Paulson, who took some time earlier this week to chat with me. That'll be our next segment coming up here on our pregame show. He is going to be talking about a tribute he has done this year for his late uncle Ross Brennan, who passed away almost 2 years ago now. And he'll discuss that football is a game, and to many it's about winning and losing, but there's more to life than winning and losing a football game. Alex is going to talk about that coming up next in our pregame show, and we'll give you a little history about Mr. Ross Brennan as well, part of the pregame tonight. Hawley and Frazee, high school football action. More to come on our pregame show right after this.
When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Hawley Public Schools thanks you for listening to today's Nugget sporting event. But we offer more activities than just athletics. Hawley students can be part of groups like the Student Council, Riverwatch, Science Olympiad, FFA, Art Club, Yearbook, Knowledge Bowl, Speech, Debate, Band, and Choir. There's also a 3-act play, a 1-act play, and musical. Fine arts, academics, and athletics, a winning combination. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Alex Paulson, a senior member of the Hawley Nuggets football team, joining us here for a special segment on our pregame show as they get set to face the Frazee Hornets here. Alex, first off, let's just talk about the start of the year a little bit. How things have been looking for you guys, practice-wise, just the senior year, going into that first game against Perham last week. Any additional emotions, anything like that going on for you two as a senior?
I mean, the year's been great. I mean, it's been 4 weeks. We've had ups and downs. I mean, last week we lost Perham. It was a bad start to the year, but we can turn it around here and just get it. Emotions were high last Friday, but I mean, they're still high. Knowing it's my last season, I know I got a lot to prove for myself and my teammates have a lot to prove for themselves as well. And I mean, the emotions are just going to be high, and they're going to stay high.
Football, that's the season, obviously, but obviously this is more than just a game, especially for your family, the Paulson and Brennan family. It's almost like a lifestyle for you guys. You had 2 uncles that played college football, both at the University of North Dakota following high school. What kind of lessons, I mean, beyond that, obviously you don't remember that part of it, but lessons through the game of football, whether it be from your uncles, from your coaches, from others that have helped you along the way that you've learned, kind of life lessons instead of just the game of football that come to mind for you?
Yeah, with both of them playing at UND, I mean, it's big shoes to fill. A big part of our family. Lessons, I mean, there's tons of lessons. I mean, our coaches, teammates, I mean, everybody that we know has taught us that football is not just a game. We know that we're going to go out there and we're going to have problems at home. We're going to have problems in school. We're going to have stress and anxiety about something. I mean, everybody on the field is going to have something going on outside of football. And on the field, we can just come together as brothers and just be the team we want to be and just let it loose, be ourselves on the football field.
Tell me about your tribute to your Uncle Ross. Lost almost a couple of years now, coming up on that in October, but tell me about this tribute you've done and kind of what made you want to do something like this.
Yeah, so the tattoo, I always remembered him having it at the lake, at home. I mean, I always saw it. And with him being gone for 2 years now, I mean, obviously I have memories and I have connections, but I wanted, like, a piece of him on me, so I just wanted to get the matching tattoo with him. And I thought it was a great idea. It looks great, and I love it.
Awesome. You added a little more to it of what he had, too. You have his actual signature, right?
Yeah, I have his actual signature. So we found a signature, and we were able to put it on there. And, yeah, I think it's just really good. I think it's really good.
That's awesome. What are some of your favorite memories of your Uncle Ross that you can tell me that maybe stand out to you as you grew up and leading up to the point up until a couple of years ago? Anything that he's said to you, any advice he's given, just time together, like you said, at the lake or other places for holidays and so on?
Yeah. I mean, we always saw him at holidays, and I know him, my Uncle Ross and his brother Steve were always teaching me stuff about football, always teaching me lessons that I need to know about anything. I mean, they would, like, if I knew something wrong, they'd correct me. If I was doing something right, they'd tell me I was. And, I mean, they'd tell me to do good in school, obviously. But, I don't know, just lots of memories. I mean, most at the lake, a lot of memories at home. And, yeah, both of them. I mean, one of them's gone, which, like, hurts, but it's still good to have Steve to be able to share the memories of Ross with me.
Senior year this year for you too, like most seniors, a little more focused, I'm sure, and a little more energized, but obviously you're truly inspired with this as well. So what are some of the goals that you guys have set as a team for the Hawley Nuggets in particular? And then also if there's anything in particular for you yourself that you've set individually that you want to try and accomplish your last year here as a Hawley Nugget?
Yeah, the focus is really high. The eagerness to play for me and all the other seniors and even everybody else is really high as well. Our team has goals and expectations that we're gonna meet and we want to meet. I mean, we want to win. We believe that we're a section championship team, so we want to go into every game and be able to play to the best of our abilities and come out with wins. And my goal is I just want to be able to lead my team, teach them, and have fun at the same time. So, I mean, it's business, but it's enjoyable. I want to enjoy it.
Alex, appreciate the time. Good luck to you in the Nuggets, not only against Frazee, but throughout the entire season.
Thank you.
Senior Alex Paulson joining us here for a special tribute this evening for his late Uncle Ross, who passed away back in October of 2021. So I appreciate him taking the time to do this. I was telling a community member, I said I think I was a little more nervous than Alex probably was leading up to this interview, just making sure he was going to be comfortable with it and making sure he was good. But the thing that he told me right away when we had this interview on Wednesday was, let's do this. Let's get it done. So he was ready to rock and roll, which was fun to see. But it definitely is it's fun to hear a senior member of a team kind of taking that leadership, knowing that football is more than just a game. There's more to it. And I did have a chance to chat a little bit with head coach Dale Lennon of University of North Dakota at the time, who was the coach for not only Ross, but his brother Steve. He had mentioned that Ross was redshirted as a freshman, but physically he was ready to play. It was just kind of his rule that he redshirted all those players when they came to be freshmen. But in 2001, their national championship season, Ross was starting nose guard as a freshman that year and had a major impact on the team. He also talked about Ross and Steve together looking like a WWE tag team, the way that they looked in that picture that you saw on here too, with Ross and Steve that pops back up on the screen here too. The best teammate you could ask for, hated attention, was uncomfortable with compliments as well. But I tell you what, I did get a chance to see him play. I had no idea who he was back in college, but he was a beast of a player. He was a heck of a player. And one of his best friends and teammates by the name of Caleb Johnson from West Fargo as well sent me some information and just some different things that he talked about. One that really stood out to me was I actually don't remember much about the games, except we had some success and won a lot of games. I remember mostly the times we hung out outside of football. Overall, he could sum Ross up in just a couple of words, which would be very easy. He said he was simply the dude. So again, thanks to Alex Paulson, senior member of the Hawley Nuggets football team, joining us here on our pregame show for a special segment and tribute to his late uncle, Ross Brennan, as the Nuggets get set to take on the Frazee Hornets, where actually Ross was living until his death a couple of years ago. We'll take another break. We'll come back with more on our pregame show. It is Hawley and Frazee in a Section 8 AA matchup on YourLiveEvent.com.
Counseling Headquarters, also known as REACH, Neighbors Helping Neighbors. That's their slogan, and it says it all. REACH is a multi-agency human service center that helps families and individuals with counseling, food services, and help and support during the holidays. Things such as the backpack program, food for kids during the weekend, and a holiday meal during Thanksgiving and Christmas are just a few of the things that REACH can do. Check them out at ruralenrichment.org or visit their secondhand stores in Hawley and Hendrum.
The 2023 R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now available in digital format. You can view the 2023 Fall Sports Guide online and on mobile by visiting rnjbroadcasting.com and clicking on the Sports Guide link. View schedules, coaches' bios, and see plenty of photos and tidbits to get ready for the fall sports seasons. The R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now online and available at rnjbroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to our pregame show as we get set for the Hawley Nuggets and the Frazee Hornets here tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for this one this evening. We'll go into some information and some stats about these teams throughout the game. Coach Knapps was gracious enough to provide me with some stats from that first game against Perham. We'll talk about some of those during the game as we keep on moving forward. The Hawley Nuggets will have, as far as their starting lineup, we'll look at their offense up on the line here tonight for the Nuggets. Starting at the center position, getting the start here instead of guard like he was last week, will be a 6', 286-pound senior Alex Paulson. At the left guard position will be a 6'2", 224-pound junior Blake Bigger. At the right guard position, 5'10", 208-pound senior Colin Larson. The left tackle will be a 6'1", 206-pound senior Sam Cluck. The right tackle at 6'6", 234 pounds, a junior Blake Donner. In the backfield for the Hawley Nuggets, they will have halfback, a 6'2", 218-pound junior Jack Ames. The running back will be a 5'7", 155-pound senior Lucas Skank. At a tight end position will be a 6'3", 170-pound senior Brevin Stoa. At the slot position, a 6'1", 172-pound junior Zach Liebach. The other tight end will be a 5'10", 196-pound senior Tyler Garai. And the quarterback here tonight will be a 6'5", 210-pound junior Noah Nelson. Head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, Peter Knapps, assisted by Tim Peterson, Nick Burcham, Aaron Haugen, Zion Smith, Travis Haugen, and David Ames. Nuggets 0-1 on the year, lost to Perham 24-0 to get the season started last week. For the Frazee Hornets, they will start. We'll look at their defensive starters here tonight. Up on their defensive line, we'll have a four-man front. Their two defensive tackles will be a 5'10", 204-pound senior Weston Mickelson. The other tackle will be a 5'11", 176-pound senior Drew McCalson. The defensive ends will be a 5'10", 191-pound senior Logan Brecky. The other defensive end will be a 5'9", 194-pound senior Derek Zitzo. At the linebacker positions, a 5'7", 177-pound senior Tyler Moe, a 5'9", 198-pound sophomore Jack Graham. At the other linebacker position will be a 6'1", 192-pound junior Asher Blaine. The defensive backfield will look like this for Frazee. At the strong safety position, a 5'11", 175-pound senior Brady Crabtree. At the free safety position will be a 6'4", 172-pound junior Carter Sonnenberg. Their cornerbacks tonight will be a 6'1", 157-pound sophomore, Adam Vegan. And the other cornerback will be a 6'1", 158-pound senior, Nathan Longfors. Head coach of the Frazee Hornets is Russell Hackle. It's Nick Cornier, Brandon Olson, Roger Thorpe, Chris Burton, and Daniel Steele as the assistant coaches for the Frazee Hornets. They come in with an 0-1 record as well, lost to Staples Motley to start out the year 28-14. Starting lineup, part of our pregame show here tonight as well. The Hawley Nuggets in their home opener tonight will be in their home maroons, gold numerals, and the maroon bottoms, maroon helmets. Frazee Hornets will be in the white jerseys, green numerals, black trim, and the black helmets here tonight. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more on our pregame show, the Nuggets and the Hornets, on yourliveevent.com.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Welcome back to Dale Scallard Athletic Complex. The Hawley Nuggets getting set to get announced here tonight. The Frazee Hornets just got that done. As mentioned last week, the loss to Perham for the Hawley Nuggets as we go through the lineups here, which we already did on our pregame show. Last week, the Nuggets split things up pretty well as far as the offense goes, but as Coach Knapps talked about, if you heard earlier on in the pregame show, if you didn't, He basically talked about the fact that they had a lot of mistakes, too many things that they needed to correct. Had 5 fumbles in that game. None of them actually lost, but it was a lot of muffed snaps, whether they were too high, too low, off the mark. Just a lot of mishaps there in that game that they need to correct. They said second half the defense definitely came together. They trailed 21-0 at halftime, ended 24-0 total score in that game. So you can definitely see that the second half started to come together, provide some better energy and some more intensity. But they need to have that here tonight in the start of the game against the Frazee Hornets, a team that has had some decent years in the past. They've had some struggles as well, much like any small school is going to come across. But I tell you what, they're going to come out ready to rock and roll here tonight with some good youth and also some decent experience back from their previous teams as well. Noah Nelson, the junior quarterback, had 24 passing attempts on last Friday against Perham, completed 10 of those for 156 yards passing. They had 85 yards rushing on 25 attempts and spread it out pretty well between Noah, Jack Ames, and Lucas Skank in those positions. Jack Ames led the way defensively with 8.5 tackles, Lucas Skank with 8, and Levi Lelm off the sidelines with 5.5 in that game in the loss against Perham. So both teams come in 0-1. Somebody will come away with the victory here tonight to have their second game of the year. We appreciate you being with us wherever you might be for our coverage here tonight on yourliveevent.com as the Nuggets come out of their huddle and get ready to roll here as the Frazee Hornets will step back. And it looks like they're going to receive to get things going left to right on the screen here this evening. Beautiful night for some high school football. Thanks for being with us for our coverage. Kurt Fillion with the broadcast call. Nathan Stowa will be joining me momentarily. He's over in Moorhead for some cross country that they were finishing up. So he's the head cross country coach, so we got to let him do some coaching duties too, I guess. So let him do the actual job that he's got. But he will be joining me here momentarily to provide some color commentary this evening as well. So thank you for being with us here. Coverage. A special thanks to all of our sponsors for helping make the broadcast possible as well. Had a text message from one of the guys that I was talking about in the pregame show, one of Ross's good friends, Caleb Johnson, tuning in. Caleb, thank you for tuning in to not only the program, but hopefully you stick around for some Hawley Nugget football throughout the evening as well. So thank you for tuning in, and to all of our listeners throughout the area on yourliveevent.com. All the home games you can catch right here in the live web stream for Hawley Nugget Athletics, not just football, but volleyball and basketball when we get into that as well, into the winter sports, which we don't need to talk about right now because we need to talk about nice weather for as long as we can. All right, here we go. We're getting set for the kickoff here tonight. The Hawley Nuggets kicker will be wearing number 9, Brock Hines. The freshman will step back. He'll tee it up at the 40-yard line, and we are ready to rock and roll for Hawley Nugget football in their home opener 2023. Kickoff goes to the 30-yard line. It's going to be taken by Frazee, picked up. That was by number 28 there, Brady Crabtree. Crabtree has a decent little return to make it up to the 32, make it 35-yard line is where the ball is going to be placed to get things going here in the first quarter. So the Frazee Hornets have it first down and 10 at their own 35-yard line. And get things rolling offensively. That was the biggest struggle for the Nuggets in the first game against Perham that heard Coach Knapps talking about. Defensively, not too bad, but still some things to shore up on that end too here tonight. I formation backfield, handoff, goes to the second man through. Crabtree pushes his way forward. A nice charge there to go straight forward at 5. I think he got, with the extra effort, 6 yards. Make it 5. They'll stop him at that. It'll be second down and 5, so a nice gain for Brady Crabtree. So second and 5 it'll be for Frazee up to their 40-yard line. Clogged up in the middle there. Again, it was Jack Ames coming up with that tackle in the linebacker spot. So the second thread, they were able to get through that defensive line and push forward and get some decent first offensive drive there as a receiver off to the right end. Wing off to that end as well with the strong side. I formation backfield. They'll hand it off. Second man through. Again, it's going to be Crabtree. And he is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the defense. Those defensive tackles Alex Paulson coming off of that pile. He was the first one there, clogging it up, along with Colin Larson, not letting anything happen. In fact, no gain on the play for Crabtree. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 now for Frazee at their own 40-yard line, just a foot in front of that. So come out of their huddle here, just underway in the first 90 seconds of the ball game. Thanks for being with us for our coverage of high school football action. It's a not only section but a conference matchup for these two teams in the Heart of Lakes on the north end. Shotgun formation, almost jumping there on the end there. And I think Garai might have been caught with going offsides, or did somebody jump right after that for Frazee? Oh, we got a delay of game is what it was. I was going to say, it was taking a little while in that huddle for him, so it'll be a penalty for 5 yards. That'll drop them back and make it a 3rd down and a long 9 here for Frazee. So that'll definitely hurt you when you get that first surge and then nothing happening on that next play. Last year there was a lot of situations for the Nuggets where they'd make some big stops, 1, 2 in a row, and then all of a sudden a huge play by the offense that would really deflate the defense. Trying to stay away from that with a lot of experience coming back this year. Shotgun formation again. Handoff goes to that left side. They try and counter back into the middle, and that's not happening. The Hawley Nuggets in there to pile up on them, and it's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. Tyler Moe is trying to make his way through there, and I bet there weren't too many doors open. Just a lot of maroon jerseys over in that area, making a 4th down and 11. So the Hornets will have it 4th down and 11 at their 33-yard line. They'll be setting up for a punt. So the punt will be coming up here. This one airs up, and it's going to end right around the 38-yard line is where it's going to be retrieved by the Nuggets. Lelm is going to take it, and he's going to be collected pretty quick by the special teams. So not a lot happening there, but some great field position for the Hawley Nuggets to start out on their first offensive series here tonight. So they will have it at their own 43-yard line with 9:31 to play in this first quarter. Nuggets will line them up on that left side. Shotgun formation coming up for Noah Nelson. Receiver off to the right end as well, trying to spread the field here. Open some things up left side. They'll go past to Lelm. Nice block by Stoa down to the 50, 45, 40 at the other end. Still keep it on its feet. Lelm is going to be taken out of bounds at the 32-yard line is where they're going to say his foot went out of bounds, but a huge play on the first offensive play of the series, going to pass. That is going to go 33 yards for Noah Nelson to Levi Lelm. So 1st and 10, Nuggets. Great first offensive play there into Frazee territory at the 32-yard line. Same formation they'll go with. Trips to the left. They've got a back right next to Nelson on his left and over into that right side receiver. He'll pass left, same play. Lelm is going to try and take it himself. Didn't have a chance to establish any blockers this time, but he's still able to scoot his way forward for a gain of 3. So 2 for 2 on the passes for Noah Nelson right away in this ball game. And a couple of grabs for Levi Lelm, who led in receptions in that first game here for the Nuggets. 4 receptions for 74 yards in the loss to Perham last week for Levi Lelm. So he might be a target that we'll be looking at here tonight. I'll tell you what, if it's working, keep on going with it. Trips to the right side this time, back to pass. That's the wide open side. Oh, nice pass up the middle, and I think he was able to scoop it before he trapped, or did they say he trapped? Zach Liebach having a slide to get that ball, and I think it slipped through his hands. It is. It's going to be an incomplete pass, but what an effort. A nice route that was run there, and just a little bit underthrown will make it a 3rd down and 7 for the Hawley Nuggets. Just over 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score between Hawley and Frazee in this 8AA contest. Hey, there he is. How you doing, my friend? Nathan Stoa is in the building. He has arrived. Ready to provide you with some color commentary here tonight. Handoff. Nope, faking it. Nelson going to take it himself. Tries to shake one off, and he's going to spin his way forward with a couple of defenders wrapped around him. He's able to gain about 3, maybe 4, give him 4 actually on that play, or more than that, maybe 5. Give him 5 yards on that play. Noah Nelson with 5 on the play. And that's going to make it, right up there. So that'll make it a 4th down and 2. We're just getting things all set up here on the technical side behind the scenes. Don't mind us. Under center, Nelson, I formation backfield. He'll hand it off straight up the middle. Not a whole lot of room going there. And I don't know if the Nuggets got it. I don't think so. Lucas Skank was the one taking that carry. And if he got a yard, be about it. I think, yeah, he's going to come up a little bit short. Frazee's going to get it. It's a gain of 1 on the play. So a turnover on downs. And Frazee will have it.
Hi, Kurt.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you in these nice Hawley Elementary School headphones that I have provided myself with.
That's what I like to see.
I apologize to everybody for the heavy breathing, but I am A-shape, not in shape.
Yeah, that is true. I wasn't going to say anything, but
and then there might be a car parked on the sidewalk by the field house. But
that's okay.
If Billy G can do it, I think I can get away with it once.
Yeah, you get the experience by now. Handoff goes, left side Crabtree. He's going to, oh my, taking the hurdle there, trying to go across. We got a penalty flag coming down right at the end of that play in the backfield. We'll see what this comes out to be. Crabtree, we got a hold against Frazee, so this one's going to be coming back. But otherwise, he had a gain of about 7 yards and a fancy way to finish it off, trying to leap over one of the players. A dangerous move, too. But
yeah, he tried to leap over 6'3". That might be asking a little bit too much and made the tackle easier. I'm not sure if it was Lelm 14 or 41 Hines that got held, but it was one of those. I'll work my eyes into focus here and we'll decide, but it was a pretty clear hold that spun him around.
So that'll make it a 1st down and 15 instead of what would have been probably a 2nd and 3 or so after that gain. Alleviates that gain. It's going to be a receiver off to the right. Wings off to each side here for Frazee, and the lone back in the backfield is Crabtree. We'll do a counter to that left side, and he's going to be taken down pretty quick. Jack Ames read that one really well, stayed low and wrapped up. Nice job defensively by Ames. So a 2-yard gain on the play for Brady Crabtree. His 3rd carry for 7 yards here tonight. 2nd down and 13 it's going to be for the Frazee Hornets. They are at their own 30, make a 20-yard line. Adam Vegan, the sophomore quarterback, calling out the signals to his teammates here as we've got a false start on the far side, official calling for. So the first penalty of this, make it the 2nd penalty for 10 yards in this drive. 3rd penalty for 15 yards total in the game for the Frazee Hornets. That's going to drop them back, make it a 2nd down and 18. 7.5 to play in this first quarter. No score between Hawley and Frazee in an 8AA contest and conference matchup as well for the Heart of the Lakes. Quick little switcheroo here as they've got a substitution coming into that backfield for Frazee. That's going to be Nathan Longfors coming in. Back into the game. He starts at a wide receiver position, and that's where he'll flank out to on that right side. Under center, Vegan hands it off. First man through, and this is going to be Mo. Mo powers his way forward. He gains about 4 yards on the play. So he'll get back to positive yards now on 2 carries for just 1 yard on the game.
Hey, Kurt, you want some proof that coaching is mostly overrated at times?
Yeah.
I just had Bridger Larson break our 5K school record while I was in the car driving to see you. So,
man, that was
1634
great. That is
for
great
Bridger
coaching.
Larson, and I let him know that he can be awesome, and it doesn't matter about me.
When you're pushing the pedal, they go faster.
Well, I did see one highway patrolman, and I was really happy.
And he said, I'm not going to pull you over. Your kid is setting a record right now.
He
let you go.
didn't turn around, so I was happy.
That's good. Now he hears this broadcast, and he's going to send you a ticket instead. Pass is going to be intercepted. Brevin Stoa gets it at the 30-yard line and forward beyond that. And I think, the ball's loose. Fumble going out of bounds. I think it squirted all the way to the sideline, so I think they're going to be safe to hang on to it.
Lucas Skank was over there and shoved it out of bounds. So big turnover for the Nuggets. Great pass rush. I wasn't quite sure who got there, but it forced basically a jump ball to be thrown up, and Brevin came down with it, but it could have been Lelm. It could have been about 3 other guys that were in on that mix to make it happen. So big defensive stop and field position big time in favor of Hawley right now.
Yeah, that was a great job to sniff that out. The pressure, as you mentioned, up front to force them into a tough spot, and the defense was already in that coverage in the backfield. Basically all maroon jerseys is all you could see. It's going to be the 24-yard line of Frazee, where Hawley's going to take over with 6:19 to play in the first quarter. Huge change of momentum right there, and that's what the Nuggets needed. Now they need a little momentum on the offensive side, which they couldn't get going in that first game of the year against Perham either. So trying to get that switched up. I'll send the receivers off to each side. 1 to the right, 3 off to that left. In the backfield, they'll pass this one out right side, wide open on the other side, and in to score is Zach Liebach for the Hawley Nuggets from 24 yards out.
No one was there with Zach. Noah with the quick read, put it on his numbers and an easy strut into the end zone to get the offense that momentum that you just mentioned. I'd be remiss. I don't know what the pregame was, but everything I heard from my commentator father on the way here and what I've been able to see, Alex Paulson at the center spot doing his job, and that center to quarterback exchange has been fixed for now.
We're going to try for the extra point kick. The freshman Brock Hines is going to get set to boot this one away, and Mark Schauer will be his holder. Snap is there. The kick is up, a little bit low, but it made it over the uprights, and between the uprights and over the bar just enough to make it 7-0 in favor of the Hawley Nuggets. With 6:09 to play in the first quarter, the Nuggets strike first against the Frazee Hornets on YourLiveEvent.com.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Back here for the kickoff, a 24-yard touchdown pass from Noah Nelson going to Zach Liebach. And the extra point kick was good to make it the score you see on the screen, 7-0 Hawley leading Frazee. So it will be Hines kicking this one away right down the middle, and it's going to be grabbed by Crabtree straight up the middle, and he's going to be tackled down at the 40-yard line. Not a whole lot of room to go there. It was actually not Crabtree. It was Jesse Rollins, a senior in the special teams there for Frazee.
Hines with the kick, Hines with the tackle. Working on each other's stats.
That's the way to do it. Hustle it down the field and get in on the play as much as you can, and he did just that. So a great job as Frazee will take over first down and 10 at their own 40-yard line with 6:07 to play. The previous drive, one play. It was a touchdown that lasted 10 seconds. Started with 6:19 at 6:09. They were able to score the first points on the board here tonight. The Nuggets did. Handoff goes, second man through. That is Crabtree. He was knocked there momentarily and then bounces off that and keeps on going against 2 or 3 other defenders down the field, and he'll be taken down at the 45, but some hard-earned runs or yards for Brady Crabtree.
Hard-earned yards, but Grady Hines was there. The young fella just dipped his head a little bit as he was filling that gap. So he was in the right spot. He was doing his job. Just got to finish it and keep the eyes up.
So 2nd and 5 it'll be for Frazee.
Carson Kopacek in at safety right now. Mark Schauer in at corner on the near side of the field. And Jackson Skank, sophomore, on the far side of the field, number 20.
Jesse Rollins came in on the Frazee side as well in place of Nathan Longfors. Handoff goes. Second man through again. Crabtree's been their workhorse, and he is definitely feeling it when he gets up the middle against that defensive line and those linebackers that are shooting in there quick. He was able to gain 1 yard on the play, but that was it.
Sophomore Connor Kazmaka had the legs, and that time Grady Hines kept his eyes up and finished the tackle up high. And you know it was a big play because that is the most emotion and vertical I've seen out of defensive coordinator Nick Burcham. So since the morning ball days maybe. So he's pumped over there with his defense and the strides that they're making and the energy they're playing with.
He's feeling it, getting the emotion flowing here on the sidelines too. That's good to see. 3rd down and 4 for Frazee. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers off to the left. Handoff goes Crabtree straight up the gut. He's going to go again. He'll get a 2-yard gain. He'll get a little bit closer to that first down. It's going to be a 4th down and short, 4th and 1.
Big battles inside. We know Frazee is always going to be physical. That's just how it has always been. Inside doesn't matter whether they're bringing the measurables or not. They're always going to be physical. And that's a good test, especially after last week where we didn't necessarily go toe-to-toe physicality inside with Perham, to come back and have to do it again this week.
6 carries, 15 yards for Brady Crabtree on the Frazee side here tonight. One of their senior leaders in the backfield. 4th and short, right near midfield at the Frazee 49-yard line. Receivers off to each side, I formation backfield. They'll mark them down. Vegan, the quarterback, barks it out. He's trying to get Hawley to go off sides. They're not taking it. Pitch out to the left side, and that is going to be Crabtree making it into Hawley territory up to the 42-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain. He only needed 1. He over-exceeded that and got Frazee another set of downs.
Good play call, aided by a questionable block on the left side of the line. It looked like we did a good job containing and crashing down. A little bit of a hold potentially, but no flag. Good job. I think it was Jackson Skank on the ankles.
So
this possession is also without middle linebacker Jack Ames right now. So new guys getting some reps out there, and hopefully we can turn them over on downs here.
And bringing in a lot of good experience from last year with the guys that were in that kind of that sophomore junior level that are now the juniors and seniors of this year. It's fun to see how much progress they've made from last season, even just to week 2 where we're at right now in the first quarter of week 2. Handoff goes Crabtree. Holy cow, he was stood up. That was actually Moe who they got the handoff on that play, and the Nuggets were ready for it this time, shooting in left, shooting in right, and boy, that was not very fun for the Frazee offense.
No, Connor Kazmaka's hitting bodies in there. That time Tyler Girai from his end was involved. I got to get my Heinzes straight here. Grady was the one in there in the mix as well.
2nd down and 10. I think that was Mo that had the carry. There was a couple of guys that were right in that mix, and he was the one that bounced really hard off the line, and he fell at the same time as Crabtree, and they were right in the same area. I'm marking it on him for no gain, as we've got a timeout for Frazee. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, it's Hawley 7, Frazee nothing. 2:20 to play in the first quarter. We'll be back with more from Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex in Hawley on YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
2nd and 10 out of the timeout taken by Frazee. They'll have a couple left here in the first half. Allotted 3 is the handoff. Going straight up the middle. And not a whole lot happening there, as it was Caden Nagel, a junior, going straight up the gut on a quick handoff there right off the line.
Good job by the interior line. Alex Paulson's in there, along with the aforementioned guys, Kosmaka in there. When in doubt on those counters, sometimes it just helps them make a pile, and there's no place for him to go. That was what the interior line did on that one. So now there's a big 2 downs for Frazee, assuming they're not going to punt in a situation like this. They didn't earlier. So hopefully, Hawley looking to stand stout inside and not fall for any play fakes.
They've gone the shotgun in the previous 3rd down conversion tries. Now they're going I formation in the backfield, faking the handoff, rolling out right side. Pass is going to be caught right near the 30-yard line, or did he trap it? I was going to say it was close.
Incomplete. Side judge went to the back judge for confirmation, and the back judge said no go, along with Mark Schauer, number 11. So good thing they were on the same page. 4th down.
So 4th and 7 it will be, right in front of the 40-yard line on the Hawley side. So a big stop here for the Nuggets that will be coming up, as we're going to see Lelm come back into the game on the Nuggets side. Kopacek will come to the sideline here to get a little breather. And I think we've got another timeout. Frazee is going to take their 2nd of 3 timeouts here in this first half as they trail 7-0, 1:27 to play first quarter. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. We're back with more from Hawley after this.
Grocery, hot stuff subs and wraps, pizzas, salads, and more, including the Plump 24 roasted chicken. You can add mashed potatoes and extras for the full meal. Hot coffee is always available every day at Pump 24 Corner Market in Mahnomen.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
So 4th down situation for the Frazee Hornets out of the timeout. They've taken their 2nd of their 3 that they get in the half. So Nuggets need a big stop here as they lead 7-0. Under center, back to pass. Vegan looking. Airs this one out left side. Ball is over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete pass, and they will turn it over on downs.
Good coverage there. I wasn't sure what route Stoa jumped there, but Jackson Skank had that fade route, and he did a really good job. I'm not exactly sure where the sideline is with the grade of the field, but it looked like he was defending that pass route, pushing him off to the sideline where there was no way the ball was going to be caught in bounds had it been hauled in.
So turnover on downs. Nuggets will have it right around the 40-yard line here. And a 7-0 lead, trying to add to that in this first half of play. Thanks for being with us for our coverage wherever you might be on yourliveevent.com. Live web stream of all Hawley Nugget athletics at their home games that we have contracted. Handoff goes to Lelm. Lelm to the outside. Bounces back to the middle. 50, 45, 40. Tries to slip through another player there. That was Mo, able to get the shoestring tackle at the 35-yard line. But wow, what a big play.
That'll go down as a pass reception. The nice little trick to a jet play like that is, as long as it's not put into the breadbasket of the running back coming across, it's pitched forward. If it's dropped, it's incomplete. If not, it's an easy way for Noah Nelson to rack up some passing yards. Jacob Vetter's out there listening. You can call Chariton Cassette and thank him for all those passing yards.
A 25-yard gain is what that ends up being, and a Nugget first down in great territory here against Frazee. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Skank bounces to the right side. Tries to cut back into the middle. Now back to the outside. Finds some room at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Lucas Skank for the Hawley Nuggets to make it 13-0.
Great job of keeping his feet. Low center of gravity that Lucas brings along with that toughness and quickness. First hole was closed. Bounced it outside and to the house. Nuggets offense is rolling now.
34-yard touchdown run by Lucas Skank, only his 2nd carry of the night for 35 yards. And another short offensive series for the Hawley Nuggets. They scored on one play. That was a touchdown pass. In the previous possession, after that interception by Brevin Stoa to set him up into great territory. And now only a 2-play drive. Trying for the extra point kick. Snap is there. The kick is up for the freshman, and this one's going wide left. So the score will stay 13-0 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard with 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We're back with more from Dale Scallerwood Athletic Complex in Hawley right after this.
It's cleaner with Gleaner. Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck O'Neill for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot Borgo, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck O'Neill for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Nuggets get the touchdown here, a 34-yard touchdown run on a 2-play drive that lasted not very long, 24 seconds. Their previous scoring drive lasted 10 seconds, so they got some work to do to try and break that one. But hey, if you can score in 24 seconds and 10 seconds, I think you'd take that throughout the night, right? I would probably take that.
Yeah, it's probably a dried up. A little Madden to it, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I haven't played that for a long time. I wouldn't even know what buttons to push anymore. Is there still R1 and R2 and L2 and all that?
Yeah, if you want, you can ask, if you ever get a chance, you can ask the Stoa kid who's got a 7-game winning streak in Madden.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
He does, huh?
No. No, he doesn't. I wouldn't bring it up.
I better not then. He's bigger than I am. Most people are, but
I was going to let you say it.
Little squib kick up the middle again. Boy, Hines, he likes to try and make the tackle, I think. It is loose, and I think Frazee had a couple of guys there, and they did jump on it right at the end at about the 36-yard line. So Frazee will have it at their own 36 with 58 seconds remaining.
So Frazee's inviting that in a lot of ways with their alignment. They leave that middle of the field wide open, which is going to require them to crash down pretty hard. And if that ball hits and skips just a little bit, that's not an easy thing to pick up. So good idea there by Hines and special teams coordinator to just to make them work and also eliminate any chance of a big return.
Yeah, some of those special teams returns we saw earlier tonight, Crabtree, it seemed like he was one that likes to take a little hop, skip, and see if he can get the ball off the bounce and take off on a dead sprint. First down and 10 at the 36. Handoff goes Crabtree straight up the middle. Pounds his way forward, but I tell you what, it was pounded pretty good by a couple of defenders for the Hawley Nuggets coming off of that one, a 2-yard gain.
Yep, Levi Lelm, pretty textbook there. Shoulder to the midsection, head up, and then big Blake Downer came down the line to help finish him off.
So a 2-yard gain for Brady Crabtree. That was 8th carry of the night. A total of 26 yards he's got to lead the way on the Frazee side. Tyler Moe's got 3 carries for 1 yard. Cade Nagel, 1 carry for 3 yards. Second down and 8 it'll be for Frazee. Receivers off to each side, I formation backfield. Vegan barking it out, pitches it out left side. Crabtree's going to take it again. Has a little bit of room, and now he's going to be wrapped up there. Looked like Stoa got him right towards the end and then finished off on the other side. I think they might have got enough for the first down. They did. It's going to be an 8-yard gain on the play.
Since I made my appearance, that's been their most successful play there, that toss to the left side. They blocked it well. Hawley's been there, just hasn't finished off the play there as they've been filling.
1 quarter in the books on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. It is Hawley 13, Frazee nothing in Section 8 AA high school football. We'll be back with more. Second quarter will be starting up when we return to Dale Scallerwood Athletic Complex in Hawley right after this.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
First and 10 for Frazee as they get their second first down of the night. They'll have it with the I formation backfield. They'll switch sides here now, going the other way. Pitch out to the right side, goes Crabtree, hustles to the right side. He's going to bounce. He's going to get to the 40, up to the 30, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the Nuggets 24-yard line, but a huge gainer there of 32 yards on the play.
That time they decided to go right. They'd found that toss play successful to the left. That play they went right. The Nuggets got washed out, but also sent their blitz from the defensive right side into where that play had been. Ames had come early. Not only did Frazee pick it up, it was pretty irrelevant to how they picked it up as the play was going to the wide side of the field.
So another first down for Frazee. 2 plays and 2 first downs they've gotten this offensive set as they trail 13-0, but they're trying to get on the board here too as we enter into the second quarter. Handoff goes Crabtree. Nothing happening this time. They're going to be corralled by the Hawley Nuggets defense. And that's going to be maybe a short gain on the play of 1, or is he right? No, he's still at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
So Nuggets right now are in the 4-4 defensive alignment with the 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, which puts Nelson on the field and Stoa is the only safety out there. Everything's being pinched down really well inside. Now they got to make sure they figure out the solution to the toss play.
1 receiver off to each end. I formation backfield is what Frazee's been going with. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Mo this time. Mo finds some room, and he is going to bounce his way forward. He gets a gain of 12 yards on the play, and that's another Frazee first down.
So another tackle by Stoa, which is good as long as he's bringing guys down, but we don't need safeties making plays. We got to make those plays with the front 8 guys. It's good to have safeties that are sure tacklers, but we need them to do less.
4th carry for 13 yards for Tyler Moe. Seeing a little action there. I think catching the Nuggets off guard a little bit there. They were waiting for that ball to be pitched out to number 28 the way things have been going. First down and 10. It's going to be at the Nuggets 15. Pitch out right side. Crabtree tries to scoot forward, and not a whole lot doing there. He's able to gain about 4 yards on the play. Make it 5. He will get to the 10-yard line. It'll be a second down and 5.
Yeah, that was better by Hawley. Levi Lelms had a little bit more of an edge that time and made first contact. Wasn't able to bring him down, but did set a much better edge than has been set on the previous couple toss plays.
2nd and 6 is what it'll be. It was a gain of 4 on the play for Frazee. So they keep on marching down the field here. Well into the red zone at the 9-yard line now of the Hawley Nuggets. Handoff, nope, he's going to keep it himself. I don't know if it was a miscue or what, but it didn't work very well for the Frazee Hornets offense. I can tell you that much. Vegan is going to be taken down right near the line of scrimmage. Might have stepped a foot in front of that, but no gain on the play is what it's going to go down as.
Yep, busted play, and Hawley did what they needed to do is take advantage of that now, so 2 downs to get this turned over.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 6 is what it's going to be noted as here with 9:11 to play second quarter. 13-0 Nuggets with the lead. There are 2 offensive series where they scored. It took only 3 plays total in those 2 offensive series. We've got a penalty flag flying on that far side, and I think we might have somebody going offsides.
Well, Frazee was
somebody
clapping.
Jump a little bit. Somebody jumped on that far side. I don't know if it was Garai or who it was that came across there.
It might have been 64 Blake Bigger on that one, as he was the one getting the condolences from his teammates there. So big play for Frazee despite the ball not being snapped, as it gives them 2 downs to find a way to get a first down inside that 5.
So the first penalty of the night for the Hawley Nuggets. 3 penalties for 15 yards on the Frazee side, most of them very early in this game. 3rd down and 1 is what it's going to make it now for Frazee. and get him inside the 5-yard line at the 4 is where the ball is going to be marked. Handoff goes Mo straight forward. He takes a couple of guys with him, in for the score. Frazee gets on the board with 8:46 to play second quarter, and a chance to add to that with the extra point attempts. So a 6-play drive. It started with 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter and ends on a touchdown with 8:46 to play in the second quarter. Hornets will try for the extra point kick. Crabtree's going to try to kick. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is off to the right, no good. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, 8:46 to play in the first half. It's Hawley 13, Frazee 6 in 8AA football from Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex in Hawley tonight on YourLiveEvent.com.
It's Cleaner with Gleaner, Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck or Neil for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot Borgo, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck or Neil for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Hawley Public Schools.
Frazee will get set to boot it away here as the Nuggets will drop back to take this one. It's going to be Lelm back there along with Skank. They're set up at about the 12-yard line. So Frazee will be kicking it away as the 4-yard touchdown run by Tyler Moe on his 5th carry of the game. This one squibs a little bit there up to the 15-yard line. Taken now, Lelm able to get through a couple of would-be tacklers and beyond the 30-yard line up to the 32, and that's where the Nuggets will have it, first down and 10.
And Tristan Lillaby got big eyes on that potential kick return, but you just got to let that one go through and give your deep men a little bit more of an opportunity to return a kick.
So Nuggets will have it at their own 32-yard line with a 7-point lead here. See if they can get some more offense rolling. Passing game has been going very well for Noah Nelson here tonight. Has only missed on 1. He's got 4 completions. We'll take a look at all the stats and information here at halftime. Passing, rushing, team and individual stats. The snap goes, and this one is going to be almost over the head of Mark Schauer, who was back there. And he goes down as Frazee comes back to make that tackle against Schauer, so it's going to be a big loss all the way back to the 28-yard line, so that'll be a 5-yard loss on the play.
The coaching staff talked about wanting to get Schauer some live reps in a game, and this has been the time for it. This is something Hawley's done consistently over the years, is get whoever their backup guy is a rep in the first half with, kind of with the live action going and give them a chance to get their feet wet.
It'll be a 2nd and 15 here. Schauer set up, shotgun formation, right side pass is going to be deflected and taken by Lelm. Lelm pushing his way forward there. He didn't have time to get a couple of blockers set up in front of him. They were trying to get over there. Hustling was Colin Larson. And then also Blake Donner trying to get in his way, but just not there in time, so he had to take a couple of defenders by himself. He was able to push his way forward for a gain of 2, but that was it.
Yeah, and Liebach got there just a little bit early and then kind of held off because he knew he was probably there early and tried to avoid the flag, so that it made Lelm have to tap dance just a little bit more to carve out that yardage. This would be Schauer's first snaps he's taken in 11-man football in his career, as he was a former 9-man quarterback last year in the middle of North Dakota, in Berthold.
So 3rd down and 12 it's going to be. A little different scenario, and you're looking at the 11-man passes. Nicely placed there, just a little bit, maybe a little bit too far off the mark. It looked like Jack Ames, he was going on the route, and then all of a sudden he had to twist just a little bit. It's almost like he slipped up there when he was trying to make that grab. So incomplete pass, but a good attempt. Find the receiver right in the middle there.
I think that ball was right where Mark wanted to put it. I think Jack needed to keep running. If he would have kept running, he might still be running.
Yeah, there was a lot of room in that middle there. So it's going to make it a 4th down and 12 instead. So back to receive is going to be Crabtree for Frazee around the 38-yard line. punter for the Nuggets this year is Carson Kopacek, the senior. Will get set to receive the snap with 7:04 to play in the second quarter. Timeout taken. 7:04 remaining first half, 13-6 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. The Nuggets holding on to the lead against the Frazee Hornets. High school football action on yourliveevent.com.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
So a fourth down situation for the Nuggets coming in out of the timeout. Taking their first timeout of this half. Frazee's got one timeout remaining. They took a couple midway to late in that first quarter. This one's going to be booted away, and nobody back to receive it this time for Frazee, thinking that the Nuggets might have been faking instead. Didn't want to take that risk. Probably a smarter decision, as they'll still have possession at their own 30-yard line.
Well, big series here for Frazee as far as keeping the momentum going and continuing to roll with the things that they did well there, which were those toss plays early. And now for Hawley, it's get back to what worked early, make sure you're filling gaps and playing physical up front.
So Frazee will have it first down and 10 at their own 30-yard line, trailing by a touchdown, 13-6. Touchdown and an extra point, I should say, as they would have to convert in order to tie the ball game. As the pitch out goes to the right side, that is going to be Crabtree. Making it down the right side. He's going to gain about 6 yards on the play, make it a second down, make it 7 yards, second down and 3. So second and 3 it will be. Again, Crabtree, he had 9 carries for 44 yards in that first quarter alone. Had a 32-yard run to get the second quarter started. A 4-yard and a 7-yard as well to make it 43 yards in the second quarter alone. So 77 yards rushing.
See how confident Frazee feels. This seems like a play-action type situation if they feel confident in Vegan.
Vegan will set him up under center. Takes the snap, hands it off, straight up the middle. Mo again, powers his way through, and he just blasts right into the defense. He needed 3 yards. He got an additional 6 for a total of 9 on that run, and another Frazee first down.
Quick dives. We cannot be letting get to safety level. That's going to be something that has to be shored up. Hawley was doing a really good job early in the interior of the line, and now some of that subbing and energy has worn off a little bit, and now we've got starters back on the field.
5 first downs tonight for Frazee. Only 2 for the Nuggets, but the Nuggets do have the lead at 13-6 as they had some very short drives to make their scores. First and 10 almost went over the head of Vegan. They're able to leap up there and get it, and that gave time for the defense to get in there. Nice hustle play by a couple of defenders. Donner and Jack Ames both getting in on the tackle.
Yep, they got the stat. Colin Larson got first contact in there to slow it all up. The high snap through Frazee, out of sync on that one. And they've kind of been out of sync up and down their line the entire time, but no flags have flown. The offensive linemen seem to be wobbly a little bit. That time it was the near side receiver looked like he got a little bit of a head start.
So second down and 11 it will be from the Frazee 45-yard line. Their I formation backfield, though, go again with a receiver off to each side. Vegan as their quarterback. The sophomore will pitch it out left side, going to Crabtree, scoots forward and dives past the 50-yard line to get into Hawley territory up to the 49. And that will be a gain of 6 yards on the play.
Noah Nelson set the edge. Now he's coming out. I think they wanted him to be in a little bit tighter on that one, but Grady Hines needs to fill into that. You know, Noah did his job to turn him up the field, maybe not as tight as they wanted, but Grady's got to come follow behind and fill that gap. Lucas Skank, good job coming off of his corner responsibilities to make the tackle.
14 carries, 83 yards for Brady Crabtree here tonight. He is, as you can see, has been their workhorse. It's a 3rd down and 4.
Fumble.
And a fumble on that snap. Goes straight forward. And it looks like the Frazee Hornets were able to jump back on that. It was Vegan coming up on that ball. And it was no gain on the play, so they'll just keep it at the same spot. It'll be a 4th and 4 at the Nuggets' 49-yard line.
Cliche time. This is a big momentum spot in the end of the first half with 3:37 to go.
Should have a cue for cliches. Little
the old name drop ding and then a cliche ding.
Yeah, exactly.
They might never hear us talk.
Yeah, it'd be dinging. What are these guys talking about? What is going on? Punting situation for Frazee, at least what it looks like. They'll step back to boot this one away. Nobody back to receive for the Nuggets. The official had the chance to take it. He said, I'm getting out of the way of this. Holy cow, that was a very nicely placed punt as that is dropping back all the way to the 1-yard line.
No touchback signal. Back judge is just standing on the 1-yard line. Hawley was prepared for them to go for it. I was too, so they didn't sub in a returner as Stoa was out there as a safety. So now this looks like time for there where Hawley last week, they did go under center in a few short yardage situations, or one at least, and Noah with his 6'5" frame, this might be time just to carve out a little bit of space with a sneak.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do in this situation. You're just hoping that ball bounces back into the end zone, and that did not. It just died out right at the 1-yard line.
And we got to remember Paulson is there for the shotgun snaps, but not so much for this. So
handoff going straight up the middle, and not much doing there for the Nuggets. As it was Jack Ames trying to give him a little bit of breathing room there. He got him maybe 2, about 1.5. They moved it another step forward, so a little closer to the 2-yard gain. That's what we'll give Jack Ames his first carry of the night for 2 yards.
So let's take care of the exchange, carve out a few more yards, and give offensive coordinator Aaron Haugen a decision to make on 3rd down, and Frazee will most likely call a timeout if Hawley doesn't get anything positive here.
Holding on to the ball is crucial as you're right in their end zone. Pitch out to the left side, going to Skank. Skank waiting for some blockers, and not a whole lot happening there again as he's going to be taken down right before he dove out of bounds. And he'll gain a few yards on that play. It'll make it a 3rd down and 6 for the Nuggets.
All right, more space. Now you open up the playbook to whatever they are confident in Nelson here. It can be a short route that's virtually a handoff, or they can go to the RPO options with Ames in the backfield or Skank.
Frazee does have a timeout left. Hawley's got a couple of timeouts left. Deep in your position on a 3rd and 6. Let's see what you come up with here. If you can get that 1st down and keep it rolling as the pass goes to Lelm, squirting through the middle, and he's going to be there for the 1st down, and that's going to be a gain of 9 on the play. Keeps the drive alive for the Nuggets.
Big confidence in the arm and decision-making in Nelson. Good read, well-run, quick slant route by Lelm right into the open window, and like I said, Nelson delivered.
Just what they needed there. They got a lot more breathing room up to the 15-yard line. Started back at their own 1-yard line with 3:07 to play in the 2nd quarter. Now we're down to 1:20 remaining. Shotgun formation. Nelson again to the right side. Lelm, nice block there by Stoa. Gets him some room to the right side. Lelm is going to be pushed out of bounds, but he got all the way up to the 40-yard line. Even a step in front of that, leaping to the 43. Great. And we got a penalty flag in the backfield.
All right, I'm incredibly biased on this
one. That's why somebody almost fell through the top here.
That is not a penalty by any measure of the rule book right now. Called a block in the back.
Called a block in the back on that?
They called a block in the back, but if the defender is in such poor position and he's shaded out with just his back to the play, that's a pretty tough call.
What do they call it on? Stoa?
Call it on Brevin, yep.
Wow. He was almost basically facing him on that play. Must have turned right at the end there or something when the contact was made. But, yeah, like you were saying, Nate, I mean, that's a position where it's basically right at the end where he would have twisted and they would have got his back on that play, and there's no way he was going to be able to make the play anyway.
No, to me, that's the equivalent of a player taking a charge with his back to the offensive player.
Oof. So it'll be a first down and 16 yards here as they'll drop them back. 2 penalties for 15 yards now for the Nuggets, and that was a big one that was called here late in the second quarter. Nuggets drop back the pass. Nelson airs this one out, has Lelm, and he gets the grab at the 45 and into the end, up to the 30, 20, and taken down around the 13-yard line. But what a play by the Nuggets. Dropping all the way from their 10-yard line up to the Frazee 13 is where he's going to be taken down.
Decision time for Hawley. I know the clock stops, but your lineman just ran that far down the field, most specifically Paulson at center. This isn't the worst time for a timeout. I know it snags a little momentum. Great ball, great route combination over there, and big delivery from Nelson.
Wow, what a play. That is exactly what you needed after getting deflated on that penalty situation prior to that. First down and 10, they just forgot about it and said, let's just try and do something better. And that's exactly what they did. 35 seconds remain. Pass on a slant going inside. It's deflected. It'll be incomplete, make it a second down and 10. The benefit for the Nuggets is the clock will stop with 32 seconds remaining.
So I'm not sure what the route combination was supposed to be there, as it looks like Ames has taken a little bit of the my bad on that one, but he may have been deeper than he was supposed to be, as it was slant or post time from Kopacek there, and that's who it looked like Nelson was trying to deliver the ball to, and Ames was a little deeper in his route and almost intercepted it.
Yeah, that was a 76-yard reception on that previous play, going back to that catch that got them up to the 13-yard line. Second and 10. Blitz coming, they read it, and they stop it. Pass left side. It's going to be grabbed there by Zach Liebach. Liebach was pushed forward a little bit there to give him some momentum. Drops at the 5-yard line, so that is going to be a gain of 4 and a timeout coming up here for the Hawley Nuggets. So make it a third down and 3. Make it a 4-yard. I meant a 7-yard gain on that play.
Yeah, so that one wasn't after a really well delivered ball the last time, and even on the incomplete pass looked like it was well delivered. That one was a little bit short. That ball's got to get there with zip so that Liebach can immediately turn upfield. That time he had to reach for it. The timing was off. Zach did a good job to haul it in, get something positive, but just like last week on one of those, took a really big hit. So
we'll just keep it right here. A third down and 3 it's going to be for the Nuggets. Deep in Frazee territory up to the 7-yard line is where the ball is placed. They've got a couple more first downs here in this offensive series. It'll be the 7th play of the drive coming up. Zach Liebach, who got the reception on that last play to get it to where we're at right now, he's actually got one of the 2 touchdowns here tonight. 24-yard touchdown reception earlier on. Lucas Skank had a 34-yard touchdown run for their 13 points. They connected on one of their extra point kicks for the freshman Hines. Missed on his second. Frazee got a touchdown earlier tonight that came from Tyler Moe on short field in the second quarter.
So you got the vast majority of your playbook here. You got an opportunity to run the ball with one more timeout if you see that option. Otherwise, you have single coverage on the wide side of the field.
This one is it's going to be muffed there on that snap. Tried to snap it. It kind of rolled backwards there. It was taken by Lucas Skank. Attentive play there to try and move forward. Nothing doing. That's going to be no gain on the play, and that'll make it a 4th down situation now for the Nuggets. So a 4th and 3 is what it will be. And the last timeout that the Nuggets have here in this first half, they will take that. This is big here leading into halftime to try and get another score on the board, especially when it's only a 1-score game. Especially to gain that momentum, making a few little mishaps here and there. This is going to be something they need to kind of adjust.
If my information while I was speeding into town was correct too, we kicked off, correct? So we should get the ball to start the second half as well. So that makes it even more important right now to put one in the end zone and then come out in the second half and at the very least flip field position, at the most, dang near put it away. So right now you've got, decision-making time is who are you most confident in right now, and, based on what coverage they show. Last time they showed single coverage on the far side of the field. I believe it was Stoa and Lelm up over there. So if Liebach comes out to the near side of the field, that might take fade away to the short side, but they also do trust Zach's athletic ability to go up and snatch one. So you've got pretty much what you want right here, and both Ames and Skank on the field.
So here we go on the 4th and 3 with 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Nelson barks it out. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to go right side. He scoots forward. I think he got in. We got a penalty flag coming in late here. He didn't have the opportunity to extend his arms. There's the defense was right basically in his grill. They would have tried to rip that ball away if he would have attempted, and I think they said he got a little bit short.
He was short.
But he'd still get the first down if he gets to the.
He's going to get a first down, but I believe we've got a hold. It's going to be a hold again.
So another penalty against Hawley in the backfield there as the play was progressing. So it'll be their third penalty for 20 yards tonight.
Love the play call because we hadn't seen Nelson run yet. Okay, so that was a good decision by him to pull it, or whether it was a designed or it was his choice. So you're going to repeat 4th down here. Give you a little bit more space and a little bit more time for a route to develop if need be. But this is once again, we're stuck in a big situation here with what's most likely the last play of this half.
So 4th and 13 it's going to be for the Nuggets. And it'll be back to their 17-yard line is where it's placed. Ball is going to be a snap that went a little bit over Nelson's head. Has time, airs this one out over the head of Ames and incomplete. So that will turn it over on downs with 10 seconds remaining in this first half.
So we talked last week that we were in that 10 to 12 range of bad snaps or mishandled snaps. Tonight we've had 2. They just happened to come at the crucial time here at the end of the half. That's a situation, too, where as Noah grows in the game at this level and the next, a little bit more composure, know that you can draw that whole play out because you have no real reason to rush yourself as it's 4th down and nothing can go negative for you as long as you hold on to the ball.
So Frazee will get set. They do have a timeout remaining. They got a lot of field to cover, though, in the 10 seconds. Instead, they'll just take the knee. Vegan will drop back and do that and close out the first half trailing 13-6 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, entering in to halftime here tonight. We'll take a break. Stay tuned. Our halftime report will go through the stats in the first half of play. A lot of exciting play that we've seen between these two teams. We'll talk about individual stats and team totals for you as well and get geared up for half number 2 from Dale Scalarwood Athletic Complex in Hawley here tonight. Back with more on yourliveevent.com right after this.
The 2023 R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now available in digital format. You can view the 2023 Fall Sports Guide online and on mobile by visiting rnjbroadcasting.com and clicking on the Sports Guide link. View schedules, coaches' bios, and see plenty of photos and tidbits to get ready for the fall sports seasons. The R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now online and available at rnjbroadcasting.com.
It's Cleaner with Gleaner, Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck O'Neill for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot Bourgeot, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck O'Neill for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Welcome back. Our halftime report with the Hawley Nuggets leading the Frazee Hornets 13-6 in 8AA football action on yourliveevent.com. Let's take a look at our halftime stats here for these two teams. First off, the scoring drives for how that went. The Hawley Nuggets struck first midway through the first quarter of play. It only took one play to do so because of an interception by Brevin Stoa that brought the ball to the Frazee 24-yard line. One play was a 24-yard touchdown pass from Noah Nelson to Zach Liebach. The extra point kick was good to make it 7-0 at that time. Nuggets were able to force a turnover on downs after an 8-play drive for Frazee, leading to another Hawley offensive series that would go just 2 plays and finish off in 24 seconds. Their first offensive series where they scored 10 seconds. The second offensive series where they scored 2 plays, 24 seconds. A 34-yard touchdown run by Lucas Skank. The extra point kick was no good, and that made it 13-0 at that time. Frazee would eventually get the opportunity to score. In fact, it would be on their next offensive possession that started late in the first quarter and ended with 8:46 remaining in the second quarter. A 6-play drive that finished off on a 4-yard touchdown run by Tyler Moe. The extra point kick was no good, and that made it our halftime score at 13-6. Nuggets 4 first downs. Frazee Hornets with 5 first downs in the first half. Penalties, not too many. A few for Hawley for 25 yards and 3 for Frazee as well for 15 yards. As far as the offense goes, let's look at the Nuggets stats. Rushing, 4 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown for Lucas Skank. Jack Ames with a carry for 2 yards. Noah Nelson with 1 carry for 5 yards. And it was Mark Schauer with 1 carry for -5 yards. 7 carries for 40 yards rushing here in the first half of play for the Hawley Nuggets. Passing went pretty good for Noah Nelson in this first half, going 7 of 10 in the air with a touchdown, 177 yards passing offense. Zach Liebach with 2 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown, 6 catches and 146 yards for Levi Lelm in the first half of play. Mark Schauer also got some action in terms of passing, with going 1 for 2 with 2 yards, so a total of 12 passing attempts. They connected on 8 of those between the two quarterbacks, have 179 yards of offense when it comes to passing, so 219 yards offense total for the Hawley Nuggets in the first 2 quarters of play. For the Frazee Hornets, all of their yards were on the ground. In fact, it was 110 rushing yards on 25 attempts. They were led by Brady Crabtree, 14 carries, 83 yards. Their lone touchdown was from Tyler Moe. He had 6 carries, 26 yards, and the touchdown. 4 carries for -2 yards for Adam Vegan, and 1 carry for 3 yards for Cade Nagel. They did attempt 3 passes. 1 of them was an interception. The other 2 just incomplete, so 0 for 3 in the air with no passing yards in the first half of play. 13-6, Hawley leads Frazee in high school football action here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Thanks for being with us for our coverage. We appreciate you being part of it, and also for our sponsors for helping make the broadcast possible. We'll take a break. We'll come back, gearing up for the second half of play with the Nuggets and the Hornets on yourliveevent.com.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. Those are the values taught by Hawley Public Schools. Hawley's PBIS team, Positive Behavior, Interventions, and Supports, aims to encourage a positive and respectful learning environment and uphold the social and emotional well-being of all students and staff. Learn more about Hawley Public Schools at hawley.k12.mn.us. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
At the junction of Highway 59 and 200, you'll enjoy a stop at Pump 24 Corner Market. Gas and diesel islands are available 24 hours for all vehicles. In the Corner Market, you'll find convenience foods, grocery, hot stuff subs and wraps, pizzas, salads, and more, including the Plump 24 roasted chicken. You can add mashed potatoes and extras for the full meal. Hot coffee is always available every day at Pump 24 Corner Market in Mahnomen.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Hawley Public Schools thanks you for listening to today's Nugget sporting event. But we offer more activities than just athletics. Hawley students can be part of groups like the Student Council, Riverwatch, Science Olympiad, FFA, Art Club, Yearbook, Knowledge Bowl, Speech, Debate, Band, and Choir. There's also a 3-act play, a 1-act play, and musical. Fine arts, academics, and athletics, a winning combination. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Rural Enrichment and Counseling Headquarters, also known as REACH, Neighbors Helping Neighbors. That's their slogan, and it says it all. REACH is a multi-agency human service center that helps families and individuals with counseling, food services, and help and support during the holidays. Things such as the backpack program, food for kids during the weekend, and a holiday meal during Thanksgiving and Christmas are just a few of the things that REACH can do. Check them out at ruralenrichment.org or visit their secondhand stores in Hawley and
13-6 halftime score. Hawley leading Frazee in high school football action. Thank you for being with us for our coverage. Kurt Fillion and Nathan Stoa bringing you the coverage here tonight. And both teams come into this game 0-1. Lost to Perham last week for the Hawley Nuggets. Taking a look at the schedule here, the Nuggets are going to be on the road for the next couple of weeks. They'll be at Roseau next week, and then at Barnesville following that on September 22nd. They'll be back at home, which you'll hear on yourliveevent.com on September 29th when they host Park Rapids area. And then the other Rapids of Pelican Rapids will be on the way here on October 6th. They'll be at Warroad on October 13th and then finish off the season for the MEA break on the Wednesday night at home against Crookston. So we'll have all the home games for you on yourliveevent.com that you can tune in for here with our broadcast. Frazee lost to Staples Motley in that first game last week. They will be in Moorhead, actually, on Friday, September 15th for a game against Crookston for 6 o'clock that will start up. They got some construction going on for a new field over in Frazee, so they won't have their first home game, it sounds like, until middle of October, I think is what they're shooting for that Park Rapids game on October 13th for homecoming, is kind of the plan anyway, by the sounds of it. They'll be at Moorhead on September 15th for Crookston. Then they'll be at Warroad following that September 22nd. Pelican Rapids at home is scheduled for September 29th. At Roseau on October 6th. And then 2 home games to close out Park Rapids area and Barnesville for Frazee on their schedule. So both teams have all section games remaining on their schedule throughout the rest of 2023, which is good, especially leading up to the playoffs. You want to face some of those teams that you'll see, and they'll get that opportunity throughout this season. We'll take another break. We'll come back. The kickoff of the second half coming your way next from Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex in Hawley with the Nuggets leading the Hornets 13-6 on yourliveevent.com.
It's Cleaner with Gleaner. Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck O'Neill for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot Borgo, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck O'Neill for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults, too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
All right, here we go. Second half is starting up here tonight. Frazee will be kicking it away. It will be Crabtree ready to boot this one for the Frazee Hornets. And back to receive is going to be Lelm and Skank for the Hawley Nuggets. Kurt Fillion and Nathan Stoa bringing you the broadcast call. Grant Anderson, a sophomore here at Hawley High School, providing us with the videography tonight, part of our Your Live Event crew. So thank him for being part of the crew here tonight as well. Skank will get that reception. They get to the 25-yard line, scoot back into the middle. Almost had some more room there, and he just got tripped up right at the end there at about the 30-yard line and fell forward close to the 35. And that was Jesse Rollins that was coming up with that tackle.
We can be upset about a couple of the flags at the end of the first half. One maybe more than the other, but we just got away with the most blatant block in the back on that kick return.
Payback.
So I guess all sometimes ends up in a wash.
There you go. You can take a breath now, Stoa, right? Maybe not. First down and 10, it's going to be here for the Nuggets. Shotgun formation. The receivers split off to that left side. Pass left, they'll go. This is going to be a reception for Liebach. A little shake and bake there, try and get away from the would-be tackler. Nice stiff arm. He basically took him down the field for a gain of 11 on that play. It looked like it wasn't going to be much, maybe 4 or 5 yards, but Liebach forced his way forward and got a nice gain of 11.
That was a better ball that time than Nelson threw across the field down by the end zone. Lelm threw another block. The receivers have been blocking incredibly well for each other. We always talk about, running backs blocking for each other, but if this is going to be the offense that Hawley hangs its hat on, the receivers are going to have to be able to do a little work for each other.
So a good reception there to get things going. Liebach had 2 carries for 31 yards and one of the touchdowns in that first half. Again, Levi Lelm had 6 receptions for 146 yards receiving in that first half of the 177 yards that Noah Nelson had in the air with a touchdown. Well, fumble again on that snap, and that's been the trouble in that first game, and some of it haunting them here against Frazee too. Just can't get the grip on that ball, and some of these snaps, it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of perspiration out there, and they got to use the towels, but Noah's got to play this where if it's from inside the width of his body, and he's got to be able to come down with it. That's part of the deal back there. Alex has had one bad snap that rolled back there. The other 2 both have hit Noah in the hands.
2nd and 11 it's going to be for the Nuggets. Shotgun formation again. Wing off to the left, 2 receivers off to the right. Ames in the backfield. Pass right side. Skank looked like he was able to scoop it up there and then lost it. Did they call it a fumble? Did he get the reception? He did. So he got the reception, gained 3 yards, and then fumbled the ball, and Frazee's able to recover.
Yeah, they're going to say he hauled that in with one hand and must have made, I guess I'm not sure what the differentiation in the high school rules versus any other rules, but must have made a football action with it, a football move with it.
So a fumble on the play, and Frazee will take over at their own 49-yard line is where it's going to be placed. With 10:58 to play in the third quarter. Hornets at their own 49. We'll get set to go under center with the I formation backfield. 1 receiver off to each end. Handoff goes Crabtree. Bumped in the backfield, and then he was taken down right after the line of scrimmage at about the 50-yard line. So right at midfield, he'll gain 1 on the play. It'll make it a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Jack Ames in the backfield with first contact. Nelson's a little bit shaken up, but his helmet came off, so he's going to have to leave the field no matter what. So I think he's good. They were just calling for the sub of Fleming coming in because Nelson's helmet came off.
So that 1-yard gain gets him to midfield, as mentioned, up to the 50-yard line. Line will get set here for the Hornets with the I formation backfield. They've been handed off left and right to Brady Crabtree, and no different here as, again, he was hitting the backfield. Nice job by Bigger, was able to get a knock on him, and then he was able to scoot forward off to that left side, kind of changed his position as he got twisted around there by Bigger in the backfield. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play, make it a 3rd down and 6.
All right, we're figuring a little bit out here. That's 2 first contacts happening behind the line of scrimmage, but neither was able to bring him down, so whether or not they bring him down, we got to do a better job gang tackling a little bit sooner, shedding those blocks. But Nuggets are starting to break through that Frazee offensive line.
16 carries, 87 yards for Brady Crabtree in the backfield here tonight for the Frazee Hornets. Straight up the middle, Mo, nothing happening. Again, it's Bigger. Blick Bigger coming up with a big stop there. No gain on the play. In fact, he's going to lose a couple and make it a 4th down and 8.
Would you say it was a bigger play than last time? All right, I'll see myself
I
out.
knew that. Yep. Just drop that mic. Yeah, you don't have the actual headset. You just drop that mic. You just walk out of here. We're done. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
We are complete for the night.
Your cringe meter has blasted through 100. I apologize.
Look out. And it's only game 1, folks. There's 3 more regular season games to go. Plenty of time to prep. 4th and 8. Snap here on the 40-yard line. This one's going to be booted away by Crabtree. It bounces at the 35. Lelm looked like he wanted to take it on that bounce and said, 1 on 3? Nah, we'll let him down that ball.
Well,
probably a smart decision.
Yeah, and it seems like Hawley's been really overprotective of potential fake punts at this point because they've shifted Lelm deep now, but they left Stoa on the field as well, so they're not exchanging out to a true punt return.
So it'll be at the Hawley 13-yard line with 8:41 to play in the third quarter. Coverage here tonight on yourliveevent.com. As mentioned, all home games for Hawley Athletics you can catch right here. Football, volleyball, basketball when we get into the winter sports. Just far enough away. Stay away for now. First down and 10. It's going to be for the Nuggets. Handoff goes straight up the middle. I believe that was Ames that got the handoff. That was an incredibly well-timed blitz that made that handoff a lot sketchier, I think, than it planned. So good job with the ball security between Nelson and Skank. But, yeah, either he was offsides or that was incredibly well-timed. We're just not at a good angle to see it. Yeah.
That was tough play to block.
I was going to say, I couldn't see who got the ball because they were there so quick. They were right in the line of sight of where you're trying to see who got that handoff, or if they didn't get the handoff, or what was going on in there. It was still a 3-yard gain, though, for Jack Ames. Despite that penetration that was coming in there, ball is going to be caught by Stoa over at the 15-yard line, but he was collected quick by Rollins on the defense.
All right, so what Hawley has set up, and it was actually there at that moment as well, but they've got the far guy set out to run the screen. They know it's coming, but that's where Lelm gets free in the slot. So if they look back at something like that on the fake stop route to Stoa, Lelm has that seam. He's got a good corner route also to come out of that.
So 3rd and 8 is what it's going to be. They lost the yard on that last play. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers off to the right, 1 off to the left. In the backfield is Ames as the running back, and a wing split off right side too. That's Skank airing this one out. It's going to be knocked away and knocked another time by Frazee. Incomplete pass will make it a 4th down and 8.
All right, time for Carson Kopacek to do what he can to flip field position here.
They need a good boot as they were placed deep in their own zone here after that punt by Frazee. Dropped him back to the 13-yard line, able to get only to the 15-yard line just with a couple of yards. So the Nuggets will at least try and get him into Frazee territory, but that's going to be tough. And it's going to be Crabtree lined up right at midfield at the 50-yard line. And he'll take a few more steps back now.
So
just in case.
Different punt formation here. It was the 3 up man back last time. Now we've got just a single up man, or personal protector, I should say.
This one boots, bounces at the 40. Crabtree looking at it. He'll just step away, and that's going to stop right at the 50-yard line.
That's where the ref was going to spot it anyway. Mike Martin always taught us, put it on a line, folks, if you can.
Yeah, and there it is. That's a perfect spot right in the middle of the field, and that's where Frazee will have it 1st down and 10 for another offensive series here. Both teams started out punting in this 3rd quarter of play, and we'll see if they can gain any momentum offensively with 7:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. Trailing 13-6 does Frazee to Hawley here tonight. As mentioned, both teams on the road next week. Hawley Nuggets going up close to Canada, all the way up to Rosso. Handoff goes to Crabtree, and he is going to be knocked 1, 2, 3 times and still able to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's just like a gauntlet he's going through there. 1, 2, 3, and I refuse to go down, but he eventually falls at the 50-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 10.
Yep, that time first contact was Tyler Girai from his left defensive end position, but the gang tackling behind that was much more efficient and effective that time, and it was a little bit of Ames and a lot of Levi Lelm in there to finish him off.
Receivers off to each side again, I formation backfield. Much like the offense they've had here throughout the night. Pitch left or pitch right. Oh, they're going back to pass, rolling this one out, airing it out. Defender tripped, and the pass was a little bit off the mark for the intended receiver, Carter Sonnenberg. He was able to get the grab, but I think he was out of bounds. So an incomplete pass is what it's going to go down as here.
Yeah, we got Lucas Skank got turned around on that one, and he's got a lower leg issue right now, I think. I'm hoping it's just a tweak of an ankle, as certified athletic trainer Greg Martindam is on the scene.
He's able to trot off the field pretty good, so he should, hopefully, is looking like he's able to walk this off, but never want to see the injuries, as Coach Knapps talked about before the game. Devon Stock out with an injury, which is never good to see, especially a senior member of the team.
Basketball starter.
Just a good athlete all the way around, right? Airing this one out again. This time the defense there almost intercepted. Great defense in the backfield for the Nuggets.
Big time play by number 20, sophomore Jackson Skink. I don't recall him seeing a snap of play last week. He's had 2 opportunities tonight to go into pass coverage. First time he used the sideline as a great defender, giving up size. Now he's out there giving up a good half a body to Sonnenberg, and he does a great job of playing the ball, not the man, and comes down with, or gets the pass deflection.
Stride for stride right there with him, too. The sophomore at 6 foot, 160 pounds, Jackson Skink, forces a 4th down situation right at the original line of scrimmage, the 50-yard line. Here's a snap, and that one bobbles a little bit there by Crabtree. He's going to be stuffed on the play at the 35-yard line. Great attentive defense there for the Hawley Nuggets on the special teams, and they'll take over in great field position.
It's about time we saw a bad snap out of somebody else, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're shoring it up, but that, hey, you know, every once in a while the game will take care of itself, but Tyler Girai right there to hop on it so that there was no chance of the punter escaping or getting off a punt.
So the midway point of this third quarter, and it's going to be Hawley taking over at the Frazee 35-yard line.
All right, we'll see what OC Aaron Haugen's got up his sleeve here. Big momentum turn of play. Do we take a shot?
Shotgun formation. We've got a timeout for the Nuggets. Saw something there they want to chat about. 6:07 to play, third quarter. Community Co-op scoreboard, it is 13 to 6. Hawley leading Frazee. High school football action, Section 8 AA football action from Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex in Hawley tonight.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
.607 to play third quarter. Thanks for being with us for our coverage of high school football action tonight. The home opener for the Hawley Golden Nuggets coming in 0-1. Same with the Frazee Hornets. Going to avenge their loss from last week. Starting out with 2 hives, Yellow Jackets and the Hornets.
All right, we have Shower in the slot position over there. We haven't seen him on offense today. Stoa single side over here with Showers tied up with Liebach.
Nelson barking it out here in the shotgun formation. Oh, my goodness. Blitz coming right through there, and holy cow, what a hit by the Frazee defense coming in there with a stick again. They timed that out just perfect.
Grady Hines had no chance, but, you know, people miss the small things of the game, and in a situation like that with what I think is his first carry, he held on to the football.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the most important thing there because, boy, that was like a dart coming in there.
A lesser human being, that ball's on the turf. So well done by Grady just to secure the football.
It was the bowling ball getting that last pin that they needed in the spare. Looking down the field, this one is going to be aired out into the hands of the intended receiver, Mark Shower. And diving to get that going out of bounds. He's going to gain all those yards back, plus a couple more, a gain of 7 on the play to make it a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, fun route combination there between Stoa and Shower, all the ones over there on this side of the field, but fantastic job by Mark to go high point that football and haul that in on the sideline, gain those yards back, but well done high pointing the football.
So 3rd down and 8 from the Frazee 33-yard line. Yeah, they're showing it once again. They're trying to, there we go. Hard count, that's what they needed. They needed a hard count to try and get these guys off balance because I was going to say, I've never seen a team time it out so well.
Right, they've done a great job with that, so it's a good job by the Nugget O-line of holding their water. If Nelson went with the hard count, we'll just assume he did and give him the credit. But if they're going to keep rolling guys up like that, they're leaving their single coverage open on our outside weapons.
Something that Nelson, too, he's got that height. He can see very well in that quarterback position, that standing at 6'5", 3rd down and 3. It'll be for the Nuggets. High snap again, but able to grab it and get the handoff good to Grady Hines.
Looks like he just had to get to the line, and he's going to be pretty darn close to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a gain of 4 on the play. Did they say he's a little bit short? That was really close. You'd think this would be a measurement moment.
Yeah, I guess. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with the grade over there.
Not.
I'd say we're at that Tom Brady sneak time when you got a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback with thick shoulders. See what you can do. And if I'm Frazee, I'm bringing someone right over the A-gaps.
4th and short here, less than a yard for the Nuggets, and it is Nelson pushing his way forward, and he is going to get that 1st down. Needed about 1.5 feet, and he got about 3 feet, the total of 1 yard.
Yep, there's the signal.
There's the 1st down. Suspense, adding some suspense here tonight.
Just wait for the spotlight, and there's the signal.
See, we need something for that, too. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom!
Maybe he was just
going forward.
Maybe they were just buffering.
This is not on your screen. We've got good connection here tonight. 1st down and 10. It's going to be from the Frazee 25-yard line. Nelson again in the shotgun formation. Handoff goes to Lelm, and he is going to be wrapped up in the backfield, but he's able to make his way forward back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a step in front of that. It's going to be no gain on the play.
All right. Once again, they keep rolling their linebackers up, and they're effectively playing right now with the 4 defensive backs, the 3 guys singled up on the receivers, and a safety over the top, but that's a lot of ground for Sonnenberg to cover. Look for a route combination that helps free one of those guys up to the back of the end zone.
Coming up on 3 minutes on this offensive possession here for the Hawley Nuggets. They'll go I formation backfield. Handoff goes Lelm, bounces to the outside, has some room up to the 15, 10, 5, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. They call it a touchdown, but there is a penalty flag right around the 13-yard line. And I think this one's going to be coming back again.
Yeah, they're going to say Stoa held on the near side of the field. There's a flag thrown by Mr. Hansen, I believe, over here.
So that's going to bring it back again. You get that momentum, and it's just a momentum buster, those penalties. So that'll be the 4th penalty tonight for the Hawley Nuggets for a total of 35 yards that have been marched back. 4 penalties as well against Frazee. They've got 20 yards in penalties. So that'll make it a 2nd down and 8 to go here for the Nuggets with 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. They lead 13-6. Nelson hands off right side. Lelm tries to go to that right side. He was tripped up just enough before he could bounce to the outside and then covered as he was slowed up. Be a gain of about 4 on the play.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm seeing. Sometimes I just get confused.
I don't either. Sometimes you're just speechless. Probably not a good thing during a broadcast, but,
well,
it happens.
Depends on how much they like us.
We do have a screen with this, so I'm used to the old radio days, but people can actually see what's going on. Here's Lelm again. Gets to the outside, breaking another. Still getting in there beyond the 5-yard line. Is going to be knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So nice job there by Levi Lelm, and he's going to gain 20 yards on that one.
All right, Levi's cramping a little bit here. I'm not sure everybody notices. Number 8, Tyler Girai, blew his man up and rode that block down the field and really sprung Levi on that carry. Stoa did his job early and then shielded himself to get out of the way, threw his hands up like he was trying not to be guilty of something.
Exactly.
And fantastic run by Lelm. Hopefully he's just dealing with the cramp down there. Get him some orange peels and some bananas.
I was going to say, Guerra, I think he was shaking up a little bit too, but it might have just been off that hit and just the physicality that we've been seeing here tonight. 2:19 to play in the third quarter, 13-6 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard in favor of the Hawley Nuggets. A quick timeout that's going to be taken. I think it's probably more so just to get these guys a little bit of a breather and get them some more water because, yeah, we've had summer-like conditions after 2 days of fall that we had prior to this. Now we're back into summer. I'm not sure if we're going to see fall tomorrow or if we're going to have some winter or what's going on, but,
From 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., the cross-country kids are hoping for fall.
Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it did get a little bit warmer here today, but I tell you what, you can't complain about the weather that you've got here this evening. A beautiful night for everybody to come and enjoy some high school football. Frazee brought a nice crowd here tonight. Hawley's got a great crowd as well. They're in the, what do they got, the construction theme here tonight? Or did they actually have to go help with digging some of that over by the school?
I think it was planned, and we're hoping to keep them
ironic.
We got to keep them outside of those fences.
Yeah. They're just trying to sneak their way in there. We got these vests on. We're good. I formation backfield here for the Nuggets. They've got a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Nelson hands it off straight up the middle. They'll push and push. And I think they're going to come up just a little bit short.
Grady Hines put it right short of the end zone there. Good push by the interior O-line, and Hines kept his legs churning.
So 2 yards for Hines there. Make it a 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
We're borderline sneak territory, but that I formation has been working really well here and churning up a few yards, so no need to get fancy here.
9th play of the offensive series for the Hawley Nuggets. Their previous 2 scoring drives were very short, only 1 play and 2 plays respectively back in the first half. Handoff goes Jack Ames, and he'll just step right in there for a touchdown like there's nothing to it. Following behind his blockers, another score for the Hawley Nuggets.
Nice job by the right side of the line. Ames didn't really have to do a whole lot, but he did keep his legs churning enough there. But good job by the right side of the O-line dominating that play. Coach Knapps threw up 2 fingers here, so they're going to try to pick up the point that they dropped on the missed PAT.
So a 3-yard touchdown run for Jack Ames. Gets the lead up to 13 points now, and like you say, trying to add to that with this 2-point conversion attempt. Nuggets will set up in that I formation backfield again, receiver off to each side. Hines in front of Jack Ames in the backfield to hand it off to Ames, and he is going to be tackled in the backfield by a few of the Frazee Hornets, so that 2-point conversion will fail. 1:33 to play in the third quarter, 19-6 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard in favor of Hawley over Frazee on yourliveevent.com. We're back with more from Hawley right after this.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hornets will get set to receive here. Same guys back there with Adam Vegan and also Brady Crabtree. And then we'll have Brock Hines, the freshman, tee this one up and get ready to boot it away for the Nuggets as they lead 19-6. A 9-play drive that lasted nearly 5 minutes for the Nuggets. A 3-yard touchdown run. It was capped off by Jack Ames. 2-point conversion they tried for. Ames couldn't get in. So he was tackled in the backfield. All right. 19-6 lead for the Nuggets.
Middle of the field still open in the Frazee kick return formation. See if Hawley again tries to take advantage of that.
Hines will boot. This one a high booming kick this time, and it's going to be taken at the 15-yard line. This one by Vegan. Vegan taking the left side, has a little bit of a wall set up, gets to the 40, and still not knocked out of bounds. He's still going at the 47-yard line. We got a penalty flag coming from away from the play.
I think there's a block in the back on Frazee, but that flag came in when the play had finished and about 10 yards further up the field than I thought it was, but he's going to signal holding. which I think ultimately is the correct call. I think it was 68 for Hawley, Austin Hager, that had gotten down the field, and he was ridden out either by his shoulder pad or by his back.
So right near the marking it from the flag. That was at the 38-yard line, or 33-yard line. That is where that ball was. And it'll drop back to the 23, so that's where Frazee will take over at their own 23-yard line with that holding penalty. It was their 5th penalty for 30 yards here tonight.
Right.
So just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. A 19-6 Hawley lead over Frazee on yourliveevent.com. I-formation backfield again for Frazee with 2 receivers split out to the right side this time. They'll roll around. Pressure put on. Ball's going to be picked off by Brevin Stoa at the 30-yard line, and he'll make his way forward all the way up to the 20-yard line, and a great play again by Stoa on the defense.
Well done by the pressure put on up front by the Nuggets on the left side of the D line. They collapsed him, and once again, he was in the right spot, but the job was done up front for him basically just to return that punt on the pick.
So a great job by Stoa, as that was well read. Good coverage in the backfield, and it's going to be taken at right at the 20-yard line is where I believe that's going to be marked, or is it at the 21? Somewhere in there. It's right by the 20-yard line marker anyway. Regardless, it's great field position for the Nuggets. I'll just call it that for now.
We'll trust you. We got a cramp being worked out by certified athletic trainer Greg Martindale. But we got ourselves an interesting spot here. Minute 16 to go. Hawley with a big defensive turnover there. What do we do? The I formation has been working, churning out plays there, getting Nelson under center, or do we go back to the shotgun with the trips or the twins and take a shot here?
I think it's one of those situations where you try that just to work on it. You got a little bit of room, you got a little bit of comfort as far as a cushion of 19-6 lead, and some time to work with it and trying it in that shorter field. But we'll see what they come up with. Still being tended to was one of the players there cramping up, as you mentioned. Both teams have been working so hard here tonight. It's fun to watch, just that physicality. And going back to that defense of Frazee here, Nate, is just it's impressive seeing those linebackers. It's like they're hungry for just to get in there, and it's like snap the ball. We want to see if we can time it out exactly where you're going to be snapping it, and they've timed it out. I don't know how many times, 5 or 6 times probably, where they're right in there.
Yeah, and I know there's different situations here for different things, and guys are trusted to different levels. We do that in all of our sports. But if Noah starts to see that heavy blitz coming, or he reads that blitz and he's got the ability to potentially go just maybe make a call with the receiver when they know they've got single coverage here too, where he can get the ball out to a deeper fade route where it's on the sideline where it's either his guy or nobody, but take advantage of some of that over-aggressive nature that those linebackers from Frazee are playing with right now.
Player coming off there was Sam Cluck, number 60, a senior for the Nuggets. With the cramping that's going on, they'll tend to him on the sidelines here, make sure he's okay. Try and get him back out on the field here later on.
Slant route is there. No one's over the top.
Shotgun formation. We'll see if they go with that. Airing this one out left side for Stoa in the end zone, and it's going to be knocked away right at the end there. The coverage by the defense, Adam Vegan, right there with Stoa. And an incomplete pass as a result.
A little point guard on point guard crime. And yeah, I don't know if he would have been able to haul that one inside, but I think that post route or that deeper slant is there. There was no safety help over the top at all on that one. Now Sonnenberg's back there, but they've rolled him up quite aggressively.
Yeah, they're definitely not stepping back, and obviously right at the 20-yard line, you don't have a whole lot of room back there, but still, you can air it out pretty quick on those quick routes. Handoff goes to Skank, and he's going to march his way forward for a gain of 5 on that one, get it to the 15-yard line.
Good to see Lucas back in, as he had to come off after that pass pass defense play earlier. Yep, I got it.
Yeah, there we go.
He was playing defense. He came off the field earlier, hobbling, but he's back out there to carry the ball.
They'll keep working the clock here, too, with a 19-6 lead, leading into the fourth quarter. And in great field position here to score another late in the ball game. Handoff is going to Skank. I think Nelson was trying to pull it back away from him to get it to the outside, but there was just a little too much danger, too many white jerseys there to try and rip that ball away. So a good decision just to say, here you go. Go down. Let's just let's reset.
Yep, let's go to the fourth quarter here. Let's take a little bit of free time out here maybe to talk about it. Well, they look like they're in the huddle here.
I'm going to try for one last play before the end of the third. Or it might just be where they didn't realize that there was what time is left. Oh, they're going to snap it. Here we go. Nelson dropping back, airing this one out right side, and it's going to be to Lelm, but I think it's a little bit over his head and incomplete, but good attempt. Try and go for it on that fourth down situation. Incomplete will turn it over on downs when we start up the fourth quarter of play. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard at the end of 3. It's Hawley 19, Frazee 6. Section 8 AA football action tonight. The home opener for the Hawley Nuggets on yourliveevent.com.
It's Cleaner with Gleaner, Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck or Neil for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot Borgo, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck or Neil for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults, too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Frazee will take over on downs here to start out the fourth quarter of play, 19-6. And the Nuggets lead here. It's been that I formation set that Frazee has gone with, and they will keep on going with that with the receiver off to each side. Under center, Vegan will hand it off. Crabtree, second man through. And he's not really getting through. He is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing happening. Just a lot of maroon jerseys there for the Hawley Nuggets. In fact, they forced him back 1 yard for a loss of 1.
Yep, good job again. Left side and interior line. Lelm came down from his linebacker position and was in the mix as well. So we're going to Frazee has not found success throwing the ball. A couple good plays. They had their opportunity when Skank kind of got shook up a little bit there, but Skank with the good play, Stoll with the 2 interceptions. So Hawley needs to stay disciplined in their drops, not get beat by any play action. But if that interior line keeps doing work, force them back to the air.
Pitch out to Crabtree on the left side, and he's going to go right against the defense there as he had Skank that was covering on the outside. Lelm was in there on the tackle as well, and also helping out was Gunnar Fleming to take him down on that play. So it'll make it a 3rd down and about 4 to go here for Frazee after a gain of 7.
Lucas Skank, for his size and the fact they play him at corner, he does have a linebacker's mentality, and he is not afraid to come in and lay a hit.
So 3rd and 4 is what it is for the Frazee Hornets here.
Sonnenberg matched up one-on-one with Jackson Skank.
At their own 28-yard line. Trying to jump there. It was Colin Larson on the defensive end position, but able to get back in time as Crabtree is going to make it to the first down marker and beyond. He's still on his feet, and he's going to finally be taken down at about the 36-yard line, but some hard running there by Crabtree. He gets 8. He needed 4 to get the first down.
Yeah, hard running, and I think, I'm not sure which guy it was, but somebody went for a big knockout hit and whiffed over there. That allowed Crabtree to keep going. Little bit of confusion as it looked like Colin Larson had jumped, but they allowed him to get back, which doesn't usually happen a whole lot in high school football.
First down in the second half here for Frazee. It's been a lot of ball control, though, on the Hawley side. They've had sustained longer drives in this second half than we saw in that first half. It seemed like it was just back and forth in that first half of play with shorter drives and shorter field position. But the Frazee Hornets able to get their first down, 6th of the game. And we've got an illegal, was it? Oh, it's a delay of game in the okay.
Yeah,
I got
it should be a delay of game. I gave you the wrong signal. But
illegal shift in the backfield.
No, that was the guy counting to 5 back there.
Yeah, there we go.
No. But the only thing he can call pre-snap is the delay of game, and so a little shooting themselves in the foot there by the Hornets, helping Hawley out. Got some new jerseys coming in on the line of scrimmage here, trying to keep the down linemen fresh, get a squirt of water, and as the temperatures and the humidity have given some guys problems here lately.
That was the 6th penalty for 35 yards on the Frazee side here tonight. First down and 15, they'll have it with that I formation set. And what do we have, a timeout? We got something here with the clocks. Or is there something else? I don't know if it's an equipment thing or if it's...
Well, I'm guessing he's wants to communicate with play clock or something, but that's a one-hand pump up or a two-hand pump up.
Yeah, I don't know what he's discussing with Coach Knapps.
Or maybe they wanted to add
They wanted to add 10 seconds. Pointing towards the, I don't know if it's towards the play clock or if it's the actual like game clock or what he's pointing at something. Maybe he saw a deer. I'm not sure. It was right there. It was right. Oh, I see. They go in the quarters. Third quarter.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is that what he's?
Oh no, we just.
I'm surprised he even noticed that.
9:53, I guess. But we
yeah, quarter should be the 4th.
Yeah, we got to set ours too.
Yeah, it's through there.
It is through there?
Yep. Yeah,
No,
it is this year. One last thing I got to do.
Oh, magical.
Yeah, I know.
Magical.
They didn't give you a headset, but they gave me a different
but my
equipment.
The cupboard in my classroom gave me
That's
this
right.
really fancy headset.
We did a little swap.
Don't you
would
laugh
you rather
at me.
Would you rather have a scoreboard so you don't have to do the score? Yes.
Don't laugh at me, Grant.
1st and 15. I think they got everything set on the clock. It is 4th quarter here with 9:45 remaining in the game. Crabtree is going to go straight forward. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a step ahead. And we got another player down. I don't know if it's cramping or if it's an injury here. But there's a gain there for Crabtree of 7 yards. On the 4th play of this offensive drive here.
Yeah, last week we avoided a lot of the cramping issues, and Perham did not. Today, it's been us. I don't know if it's an added dark uniform thing or if something's changed, but it's been a long week for all these guys. You throw practice in and first week of school, things like that. I mean, high schoolers and adults alike need routines, so hopefully now we're all going to be settling into our routines here. But yeah, the cramping bug has bit us a little bit more this week than it did last.
9:40 to play in the game. Hawley leads Frazee 19-6 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. An injury timeout here will let them tend to the player that they're stretching out with the cramping that's going on. So we'll take another break. We'll come back with more on yourliveevent.com right after this.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Helping the injured player off here. As Jack Ames that's hobbling off, and yeah, it has been a night of cramping.
Well, we hope that's all it is. We're making assumptions right now based off of how he is walking and moving, and the fact that they just handed him a Powerade. But it's a big momentary loss here for the Nuggets as Jack is clearing away the leader of the defense, the middle linebacker position, and maybe the best and most natural football player that they have out there on the defensive side.
He led the team in tackles last week with 8.5 solo tackles that he had in that game. 2nd down and 9. It'll be here for Frazee coming out of that injury timeout. Back to pass. Vegan fakes 1, fakes 2. He's got some pressure put on now by Garai. Gets around that. He's wrapped up in the backfield and is able to spin forward for a gain of a couple. So a 2-yard gain on the play for Adam Vegan.
Yeah, best thing that Vegan did right there was hold on to the ball and try to make something out of nothing. Coverage downfield was good, and he wasn't going to have. He struggled to, get that back foot planted and follow through on his last 2 passes. This one, he wasn't going to have any chance to do that. Good job by Girai and friends of getting there early, and a really good job by the linebackers of staying home to make sure that play didn't end up in a large scramble.
3rd and 7 for the Hornets with that same formation. I formation, backfield pitch out left side. Crabtree has some blockers, gets to the outside where he needs to establish that speed. And boy, getting in there quick was Jackson Skank and Brevin Stoa. They were not going to allow that to happen for him to get a 1st down. In fact, he came up 3, almost 4 yards short. So a few yard gain, what looked like it was going to be kind of blown up there on the end.
Yeah, Gunnar Fleming didn't set an edge from his outside linebacker position, which I believe is his responsibility to do there. But Jackson has not played afraid at all in his first reps there, and he was able to be there, and Brevin was able to fly across the field as well and help finish it off.
So 4th down and 4 for Frazee, trailing 19-6. Just under 8 minutes to play in the game now. Stay tuned after the game with our post-game show.
Hold your water. This is hard count time as well.
I'll go handoff Crabtree straight forward, and boy, he was close to getting stuffed about a yard short. And then again, that forward momentum, extending those arms out. Crabtree did a nice job. He needed the 4. He got the 4 and the 1st down for Frazee.
Yeah, I like the idea of the hard count, as I'd mentioned, but I also like the idea of giving it to your horse and going up the middle where Jack Ames is supposed to be. You're dealing with some backups out there. Nelson plays some 4-4 linebacker and he's not on the field right now, so try to take advantage of some potential weaknesses that are out there on the defensive side.
Get another 1st down, their 7th of the night. In fact, the Nuggets with 7 1st downs as well here tonight. 1st down and 10 at the 48-yard line near midfield. Airing this one into the middle is deflected right at the last second there. Just a quick little hitter up the middle. Asher Blaine was the intended receiver, standing at 6'1", still able to get a hand on that ball. Nice job by the defense to not let that happen.
Yeah, I think it was Grady Hines with the pass deflection on that one. And he had some struggles last week with his read steps from linebacker. So, again, taking steps and progressing throughout what, it seems like a short season, but there's a lot of reps and a lot of time for these kids to show improvement so that they can play their best football later in the season.
They've tried 7 passes here tonight, none of them complete for the Frazee Hornets. In fact, 2 interceptions, both for Brevin Stoa on the Hawley Nuggets side. 2nd down and 10, pitch out right side, bobbled, but right back into the hand. No, it's not. It's still in the backfield, laying at the 45-yard line, and the Nuggets going to jump on it. A turnover and a fumble, And Hawley will take over at the Frazee 45-yard line.
I think Tristan Lillaby was the one that came out of there with the football. It was never secured by Crabtree. Pressure was put on by Colin Larson as Crabtree was trying to come back for the football on that play. But good job by Hawley for having 3 bodies around the football on that play, and then we think it was Lillaby that came out of there with it.
So the Nuggets will take over at the Frazee 45-yard line with 6:55 to play in the ball game and a 19-6 lead on yourliveevent.com. That was a long drive that Frazee had going on, too. That was their 9th play of the drive on that fumble. 1st down and 10. Nuggets have it. Handoff goes to the second man through, and boy, the pressure was there for Frazee right up front, and Skank had nowhere to go.
I think right now they're bringing more guys than we have in there right now, as that pressure consistently is coming up the middle.
Skank will lose a couple on that play. It'll make it a 2nd down and 12, nearing the midway point of the 4th quarter.
I think we've thrown 1, maybe 2 times out of the I formation here. We've done a lot of running off the right side of the line, but Frazee's linebackers just keep coming downhill with that pressure.
Yeah, they're definitely reading well, and they wrap up well, too. Boy, do they hit. As Lelm, he'll try and jump back into the middle there off the spin there to get away from what would be tackler, but they got enough of the shoestring to take him down. It'll be a gain of 2 to get him back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I like that idea of going towards the sidelines, out towards the boundary on that one, making Frazee think about that blitz, but they did a really good job of getting into the backfield, forcing Lelm to stutter, and then Crabtree did a great job with the old ankle tackle.
So back to the Frazee 45-yard line. 3rd down and 10 it'll be now for the Nuggets with that I formation backfield. Wing off to the right, receivers off to each side. Nelson under center, barking out his call here for his offense, and you got 2 guys moving. That's going to drop him back 5 more yards. 5th penalty for 40 yards tonight for the Hawley Nuggets.
Got to know when it's on 2, fellas, and that time the interior line held their water, but we didn't have it out of 2 of our backfield fellas. So I like the idea of going with the hard count, going on 2, but we've got to be the ones in control and be disciplined so that we benefit rather than get bitten.
3rd and 15 right at midfield for the Hawley Nuggets. Trying to hang on here tonight in their home opener against the Frazee Hornets. Both teams came in 0-1. A loss to Staples Motley for Frazee in the first week. A loss to Perham, an 8-3A team for the Hawley Nuggets on the road last week, 24-0. 28-14 was the final score of the Staples Motley game. Pass for Garai, and it's going to slip through his hands and incomplete.
2 things that were there potentially. That's a good time when you're backed up like that with all that pressure. Be a good time for a screen pass and also a good time for that quick pop pass. They had it once last week, and Garai was unable to haul it in. That time there was just a little off target from Nelson, but I really, really like the play call.
So that'll make it a 4th down and 15 right at midfield.
Kopacek's in to punt.
So yeah, they'll call out the punt here. So running onto the field is Tommy Sleddy on the special teams for the punt team. So Kopacek will step back. He'll line himself right behind the 40-yard line.
I think Frazee's coming.
Yeah, they're going to put on the pressure, and this one boots end-over-end kick that bounces at the 25, takes a Nugget bounce and rolls to the 20 is where it's going to be down by Zach Liebach, and that's where Frazee will take over with 5:12 remaining in the ball game.
80 yards to go, and they're going to have to do it twice here. So good decision there when Hawley when they're backed up here. I like the punt, and always would prefer a little bit more of a roll. But again, 80 yards is a lot for Frazee to do, especially when they haven't been consistently able to throw the ball or get big chunk plays here in the second half.
Yeah, now is the time where they're going to have to pull out those stops. Try and get it down the field as quick as they can.
I think if they're going to throw it, I think they've got to go to Sonnenberg, former quarterback over here with the height advantage on the sophomore Skank, but Skank's been up to the task so far.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of sticking right there with the defense, and we've got another penalty, and this is going to be another delay of game.
Delay of games, they happen from time to time, but they're inexcusable to, on a quarterback and on a sideline to happen as you come on a change of possessions. A little bit more realistic in small school, high school football when a lot of your guys are playing both ways. But when you get to those levels where guys are one way, that's put yourself in a bad situation when you can't get out there for your first play.
And like you say, making a shift into a new set of downs, too, after a punting situation. Plenty of time to regroup and figure out what you need to do and still have that situation. It's a frustrating thing for not only the players, but especially the coaches on the sideline. You can see how disgruntled they were about that. Pitch out right side. Crabtree's actually going to air it out on a halfback pass. It's going to be incomplete. His intended receiver there looked like he was confused. Nathan Longfors kind of stopped. It's almost like he thought he was supposed to stop in the route, and then all of a sudden he realized that the ball was over his head. Didn't know, should I turn this way, should I go this way? And it was just a little bit of a mishap, an incomplete pass regardless.
Yeah, I like the idea, I like the play call. You know, they've been running that toss really well, so to go to a halfback pass is a good way to open up the playbook and try to get a big chunk play. But a lot of credit to Deuce over there, Zach Liebach, for staying in his coverage, not biting on any play fake, but doing his job. And Stoa was coming up over the top that if the ball had been better thrown, it's probably Nugget football right now.
Yeah, and it's easily something where you could have come up. You're so used to Crabtree getting that ball and just taking it on the run, as he is right here. Handoff goes. He was bumped right away by Bigger on that left side and then spun around. He was able to gain a couple yards back, but it'll make it a 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, good first contact by Bigger. He's been there a couple times. Just needs to wrap that up for an even bigger, tackle for loss situation. But Frazee now backed up with 3rd and long. At this situation, that's probably 2 plays to get it, so they don't have to go for some big chunk. But Hawley's got to sit on any trickery and on any play action type situations.
Yeah, you got to be ready for those deep balls come too. You got to be ready to go because they got to get it down the field pretty quick with only 4:20 remaining in the game, and to have to do it again, trailing by a couple of scores, dropping back the pass. This one is going to be almost knocked away there, but it's going to be, I think it is grabbed on that far side. That's the first reception of the night for the Frazee Hornets on their passing attempts. That's going to gain them 6 yards, and that was a reception for Asher Blaine.
Yep, good job. I mean, nice safe route. Good choice by Vegan. Tristan Lillaby did a good job from his middle linebacker spot. He's the one filling in right now for Jack Ames. Did a good job. Almost got a fingertip on it, but big play here for the Hornets. They'll take a timeout.
4th and 7 with 3:51 to play in the game on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. It's 19-6. Hawley leading Frazee in 8AA football action tonight from Dale Scholarroot Athletic Complex in Hawley.
It's Cleaner with Gleaner. Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck or Neil for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot Borgo, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck or Neil for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Worked. 4th and 7 out of the timeout taken by Frazee as they trail 19-6 here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com. As mentioned, stay tuned after the game. Post-game report. Enbridge Energy Player of the Game will name, along with RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game as well.
Nuggets are in their cover 2 defense right now, 4-3.
Vegan will drop back the pass, has a little bit of time, airs it out into the crowd, and this one's going to be knocked away. Nice defense by the Nuggets, as that was a well-placed ball close to the hands of Nathan Longfors, but just as he touches it, 2 or 3 of those Nugget defenders there to knock it away, try and knock at his arms, and made it living you-know-what for him to try and make that reception.
Yeah, that was actually best route combination, and I think maybe the best ball that Vegan has delivered here tonight. Hawley was being extra cautious not to let anybody behind him, so Longforce had that hit him in the hand, and just a couple touches on the old shoulder pads and on the back were enough to jar the ball loose.
So 3:46 remaining in the game. Nuggets just need to hang on to the football here and burn the timeout. Come out of this as healthy as you can. Moving into next week's long road trip up to Roseau. Handoff goes to Lucas Skank. He'll march forward for a gain of a few on that play, get it up to the 20-yard line. They started at the Frazee 23.
So Frazee's got 2 timeouts left. If they want to use them, wouldn't have made sense to use it there, but if they get a stop on this one, it would start to make sense to use some of those. Hawley looks like they're going to be pretty content to stay with the I formation with the single receiver split. And now it's all about ball security and first off securing that snap.
Pitch out to the right side. They'll go Lucas Skank. He's got some blockers in front of him, and he'll make it over to – it ran for a long ways, but he basically made it about a yard in terms of progress on that play. So a gain of 1 and then a timeout for Frazee as they're able to make that stop, like you say, stop them short on those plays, and you might have some opportunities here really late in this game, but it's going to take a lot of work in order to do that for the Frazee Hornets.
Yeah, we're sitting at a spot here where Hawley's got 2 downs to get 8 yards. There's really nothing else you're going to do. You're not running a field goal unit out there, I don't think, at this point. You're just going to try to ice the game away. So, 2 plays here. Just make sure, once again, like we said, that you're secure with the snap first, and then handoff after that, and stay in bounds.
Yes, exactly. Keep that clock a-moving. As mentioned, next week at Roseau for the Hawley Nuggets. They'll be on the road following that to the next week, September 22nd, at Barnesville. As for the Frazee Hornets, they will have a game in Moorhead. That'll be next week against Crookston at 6 p.m. Then they'll be up in Warroad the following week for their next couple of games. That's also a 6 o'clock kickoff for the 6 o'clock for the Nuggets next week, too, up in Roseau.
And the big one for Hawley fans to realize is that one's a Thursday night affair way up north.
Oh, yeah, I just see that on Thursday, September 14th. I think I said the Friday, didn't I? So that is Thursday, September 14th. I formation backfield here for the Nuggets. Thanks for pointing that out. We got a guy jumping up there. That is going to be Sam Cluck.
Second time the hard count has bitten Hawley as opposed to getting them to hold their water and force Frazee to back up a little bit.
6th penalty for 45 yards here tonight on the Nuggets side. There was 7 penalties for 40 yards for Frazee here this evening.
Situation doesn't really change here for Hawley. It's probably still 2 downs to get it, 2 runs to, melt away the clock and force Frazee to go, as far as possible to try to put a score on the board.
They got to sprint up to the line. They're running out of time on the play clock. You're down to 3 seconds remaining. Nelson gets them ready. Passes this one left side. Liebach, not a whole lot of room. The pressure there put on by the defense. Adam Vegan in the defensive back spot. He was able to leap forward by doing that. He got to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. So, in fact, he actually lost a couple yards on that play.
Safe play, though, as far as the, easy pass, easy catch, but also kept the clock running. Yeah, and
that is the main factor right there. Down to 2.5 remaining in this one, a 19-6 lead for the Hawley Nuggets.
And I stuttered over myself because I figured Frazee would have used their final timeout on that one, but they chose to sit on it here potentially for offense.
Back to pass, Nelson is airing this one out left side, and it's going to be knocked away. Probably could have been picked off, but a good decision by Adam Vegan just to knock that away on a 4th down situation. Wouldn't have had a whole lot of room to move, so that would have been about almost 15 yards he would have lost out on. So instead they'll have it at their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10 on the turnover on downs.
Yep, smart play by Vegan. Very heady player on the basketball floor as well, coaches kids, so wise decision there for them to take over with a little bit more advantage there. Hawley really not bit by the fact that it was an incomplete pass at all because the clock was going to stop if they didn't haul it in anyway.
Yeah, regardless in that situation. So we will see a 1st down and 10 for the Hornets. A lot of work to do, trailing by a couple of scores here, 19-6. And not much time to get it done, especially only with 1 timeout remaining.
So early down here, it looks like Hawley's going back to the 4-4 with the single high safety.
Handoff goes to Crabtree, and Crabtree had some nice running room there. He's going to get close to that 1st down. I think he got to the marker. That's going to be a gain of 10 yards for him. And they will move the chains. That's going to be another 1st down for the Hornets here tonight. Their 8th of the game.
So clock stopped momentarily till the chains were set. Crew was really efficient and got the clock moving again.
So 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line is where Crabtree was able to get it to. They'll sprint it up to the line here. Well, Frazee can't be wasting any time here, these guys, to get their plays going. Vegan will bark it out under center. He'll fake the pitch. He'll bring it left side now. Has a little bit of room. He'll cut back into the middle. That'll keep the time rolling here. He gets up to the 45-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 8 on the play.
Yeah, now that's a situation where Vegan probably should have bounced that further to the outside instead of cut it up. He had the corner. If he takes himself to the sideline, Frazee conserves that final timeout that they had here with 80 seconds to go.
Yeah, and in that position, too, I think he would have been pretty close to the same type of gain that he had there. He had plenty of room off to this side. But yeah, I don't know if he thought he saw an opening or a gap. He obviously did when he cut back into the middle, and then eventually closed in on pretty quick by the Hawley Nuggets defense. So able to gain, though. 9 yards. It'll be a 2nd down and 1 here for Frazee out of the timeout with 1:20 remaining in the ball game. We'll just keep it right here before we finish things off here tonight. Nuggets trying to hang on and get their first victory of the season.
So if you're Hawley here coming out, it's, regardless of what defensive formation you line up in, it's make sure nobody's behind you, nothing gets over your head, contain everything else. If they churn out even, 10-yard chunks, it's got to take time off the clock. And the only time Frazee can stop the clock right now is going out of bounds. Going out of bounds or with first downs. First downs are getting started a lot sooner these days now with some of the rule changes. So protect the boundaries and force Frazee to take time off the clock regardless of how many yards they churn.
So Frazee will come out of the timeout, a 2nd down and 1 from their own 46-yard line. They'll set it up in a shotgun formation. Trips to the right side, one receiver split off left. Back to pass is going to be Vegan. Pressure put on it, and it's going to be a sack in the backfield for Colin Larson, the senior for the Nuggets.
And Frazee's got to have a lot of sense of urgency right now. The receivers went downfield. Larson was able to get on Vegan's ankles. He was unblocked as Vegan was rolling out to his right, but not quick enough to elude Larson. But now Frazee, we're talking 55 seconds on the clock now, so we're over 25 seconds for that play that turned out to be a Nugget sack.
So 3rd down and 9, that's going to be on a loss of 8 on the play. A great defensive effort by Colin Larson coming in there around on that defensive end position. High formation backfield with the receivers split off to each side. They'll pitch it off, and this is going to be a halfback pass by Long. Fours up the field, and it's knocked away by Liebach.
Little trickery again to try to get the Nuggets to bite, but let's be honest, there is no reason for the Nuggets to bite on any trickery right now. Halfback passes, play action, all of that stuff is irrelevant because they just need to keep the ball in front of them. So there's no point for a linebacker to bite hard on a run or for a safety or anybody to creep up. So good discipline by Liebach there, by Stoa and by Skank, and Lelm by keeping their depth. No trickery should matter at this point. They got to get beat by a drop back pass and some route combinations.
So one more stop the Nuggets need, and they can seal the deal to come away with a victory here tonight. Looking downfield, Vegan airs it out. Ball is going to be picked off again by Brevin Stoa. Gets up to the 50 and steps out of bounds. And that will help to seal the deal for the Hawley Nuggets here this evening in their home opener of 2023.
Go down, child.
Dad was getting a little nervous, weren't you, up here?
Well, there's hits you need to take, there's hits you have to take, and there's hits you don't have to take. Just go down.
I almost had to turn your microphone down and let you just belt it out. Go down! Go!
There was one time I did that for Carter Kopacek in Long Prairie. Was screaming. His basketball coach was yelling at him to slide right before a big fella landed on him and took his collarbone with him.
Oh,
so
you don't want we don't want those situations.
There are times, Carter. I hope you're listening. I love you.
So you've seen it before, is what you're saying. Yeah. No wonder you were so nervous. I thought it was just because it was so warm up here that you were sweating so much.
Oh, that might be too.
They're going to set up in victory formation here. All they need to do is take one knee, and the Hawley Nuggets will be 1-1 on the year with a victory 19-6 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard in the victory over Frazee here this evening. So that'll put an end to it as you see the clock tick down. Teams will line up to shake hands here tonight. And the Nuggets will improve to the 500 mark at 1-1. Frazee will still be looking for their first win of the year, dropping to 0-2 with the loss here tonight. 19-6, Hawley defeats Frazee in high school football action on yourliveevent.com. Stay tuned, our post-game report is coming your way next.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. Those are the values taught by Hawley Public Schools. Hawley's PBIS team, Positive Behavior, Interventions, and Supports, aims to encourage a positive and respectful learning environment and uphold the social and emotional well-being of all students and staff. Learn more about Hawley Public Schools at hawley.k12.mn.us. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
At the junction of Highway 59 and 200, you'll enjoy a stop at Pump 24 Corner Market. Gas and diesel islands are available 24 hours for all vehicles. In the Corner Market, you'll find convenience foods, grocery, hot stuff subs and wraps, pizzas, salads, and more, including the Plump 24 roasted chicken. You can add mashed potatoes and extras for the full meal. Hot coffee is always available every day at Pump 24 Corner Market in Mahnomen.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Hawley Public Schools thanks you for listening to today's Nugget sporting event. But we offer more activities than just athletics. Hawley students can be part of groups like the Student Council, Riverwatch, Science Olympiad, FFA, Art Club, Yearbook, Knowledge Bowl, Speech, Debate, Band, and Choir. There's also a 3-act play, a 1-act play, and musical. Fine arts, academics, and athletics, a winning combination. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Rural Enrichment and Counseling Headquarters, also known as REACH, Neighbors Helping Neighbors. That's their slogan, and it says it all. REACH is a multi-agency human service center that helps families and individuals with counseling, food services, and help and support during the holidays. Things such as the backpack program, food for kids during the weekend, and a holiday meal during Thanksgiving and Christmas are just a few of the things that REACH can do. Check them out at ruralenrichment.org or visit their secondhand stores in Hawley and Hendrum.
The 2023 R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now available in digital format. You can view the 2023 Fall Sports Guide online and on mobile by visiting rnjbroadcasting.com and clicking on the Sports Guide link. View schedules, coaches' bios, and see plenty of photos and tidbits to get ready for the fall sports seasons. The R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now online and available at rnjbroadcasting.com.
Into our post-game show here tonight, the Hawley Nuggets coming away with their first victory of the year, improving to 1-1 with the win over Frazee, 19-6 here tonight. Nuggets scored a couple of short drives there in that first quarter. Midway through the first quarter, a one-play drive after a Brevin Stoa interception that set him up to the Frazee 24-yard line. It was a 24-yard touchdown pass from Noah Nelson to Zach Liebach. The extra point kick was good to make it 7-0 at that point. Nuggets would strike again late in the first quarter of play. That was with 59 seconds remaining, capping off a two-play drive that lasted only 24 seconds in that drive. A 34-yard touchdown run by Lucas Skank. The extra point kick was no good, made it 13-0 at that point. Second quarter came along after the Frazee Hornets started out a drive with just under a minute to play in the first quarter, ended with a touchdown with 8:46 remaining second quarter. The extra point kick was no good to make it 13-6. That was our halftime score as well. The next score would come for the Hawley Nuggets on a longer drive there midway through the third quarter when they scored on a 9-play drive with just a few minutes remaining in the third quarter. A 3-yard touchdown run that was capping off that drive by Jack Ames. And the two-point conversion failed to make it 19-6, and that ended up being our final score as well, as we saw some turnover on downs, a fumble, punt, interception, a little mix of everything in there for these two teams to close out the night. As far as team totals, Hawley Nuggets ended with 7 first downs, had 6 penalties for 45 yards, 1 turnover. That was a fumble here this evening. As for the Frazee Hornets, ended with 8 first downs, had 7 penalties for 40 yards, and 4 turnovers tonight, 3 interceptions, and 1 fumble. And as far as the individual stats for this game tonight, the Hawley Nuggets had 24 carries for 79 yards rushing, 9 carries for 45 yards, and a touchdown for Lucas Skank. 3 carries, 8 yards for Jack Ames, and touchdown. 4 carries, 4 yards for Noah Nelson. 1 carry for -5 yards for Mark Schauer. It was Grady Hines with 2 carries for -1 yards, and Levi Lelm with 5 carries, 28 yards on the Nuggets side. Passing, it was Noah Nelson, 11 of 19 in the air with a touchdown, 195 yards passing. And Mark Schauer had a couple of attempts. He had completed 1 for 2 yards, so 12 for 21 between the two quarterbacks for 197 yards passing here tonight. Total plays of offense, 45 for the Nuggets, totaling 276 yards this evening. As far as the receiving goes, Zach Liebach with a couple of 4 receptions here tonight for, 40 yards and a touchdown. Levi Lelm had the 6 catches for 146 yards. Lucas Skank with a grab for 3 yards. Brevin Stoa 1 grab for -1 yards, and it was Mark Schauer with 1 grab for 7 yards here tonight. For the Frazee Hornets, in terms of their offense, they had 41 carries, 154 yards on the ground. 26 of those carries came in the hands of number 28, Brady Crabtree, and he ended the game with 126 of their 154 rushing yards. 7 carries, 24 yards, and the lone touchdown came from Tyler Moe on the Frazee side. 1 carry for 3 yards for Cade Nagel, and 7 carries for a yard for Adam Vegan. As far as their passing goes, they completed 1 pass for 6 yards. Total, they were 1 of 12 as a team. Adam Vegan 1 for 10 with 3 interceptions and the 6-yard completion. Crabtree went 0 for 1, and Longfor is going 0 for 1. They had 53 plays of offense, 160 yards total here this evening. The only grab came from Asher Blaine late in this ball game. Those are the stats here for tonight's contest. Nate, getting your insight on the ball game. Still a lot of things that they can shore up, some things that they can continue to work on and improve on throughout the season. But overall, just getting that first win is always a good feeling for these guys.
Yeah, it's obviously a big deal, big improvement from last week. You know, you play your schedule. It's what's set in front of you. And so this week was to take care of Frazee. And you know, there's going to be things that they're going to want to figure, they're going to need to continue to grow with and figure out. The biggest thing that stands out to me is finishing drives. They had a couple different opportunities where they didn't finish drives, maybe a couple unfortunate penalties that on film will show, yeah, they were, maybe they weren't or whatever, but either way, they, you know, capitalizing when they get down inside the red zone will be big for this offense going forward, and it'll be part of what helps get it firing on all cylinders, as it's new for everybody. It's new for Coach Nats, new for Coach Haugen as the OC. It's new for the players. So, and there's definitely weapons out there that are willing to sacrifice and run the route that's the decoy. I mean, there's no selfishness or anything like that that's taking place between these guys. So they just need to, you know, keep working on those reads, keep working on finishing drives. The other two things that stand out for me, just the growth and the continued growth in both the OC and the DC. You know, this is Birch's second year running the defense, and you're starting to see more adjustments get made at different times. As every one of us that's coached, we grow in our profession at different times, and we hope to grow throughout. And he's definitely, you know, doing that, as there's been adjustments made from last week and in game and different downs and things like that. So like to see what they're doing and how they're flowing there. And then I don't know that there's a more respected football family in the area than the Haugens, and seeing Aaron, you know, after a rough week last week with the offense and a lot of things that were, you know, didn't matter what play was drawn. The snap didn't happen 10, 12 times, you know, things like that. But to, you know, put the ball in the end zone and to get a hold of that playbook, you know, is a big deal, and, you know, will help him, loosen up just a little bit too as he goes forward, because we all know what it's like to search for that first win and things like that. And you hold on to that sucker tight. You know, if it was a baseball bat, it'd be sawdust. You know, you want to get that stuff off your back. Continued growth out of this team, which, as the coaching staff has said from day one and is evident as a father and as coach of these guys in other sports, it's just they really do love each other. I mean, it was devastating when Devon got hurt. It still is. And to see how much they care, they just need to keep building and get through it. So, and to do that for guys that don't get to be on the field anymore, like Devon, you know, they just got to keep having each other's back and continue to grow, because this is a group that truly is tight with each other, and they're going to continue to grow and be tight with the coaching staff and be an enjoyable group to work with. So, we're on game 2. It's a long season, but I think it's the right mixture and the right recipe of guys to continue to build.
Nate, as always, appreciate your insight and time here tonight, too, and I look forward to chatting with you and getting a chance to cover some more games, the home games that'll be coming up here next for the Hawley Nuggets. So appreciate the time tonight. It's been great, and we will catch you next time for the Nuggets at home.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thanks for waiting for me, too, kind of.
Absolutely. Well, we just kept going.
Yeah,
I knew you'd eventually show up.
But as long as that highway patrolman didn't turn around, we were good.
Exactly. Yep. Like I say, he'll probably just send you a ticket now because he was probably watching. So.
Yeah, that's all right. For anybody that doesn't want to listen, turn it off tomorrow morning, because I'll be back on the air with Kevin talking cross country.
Oh, there you go.
More of me.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks, Nate. Nathan Stoa joining us here for the broadcast tonight as well, giving some color commentary. As always, appreciate that. We'll take another break. We'll come back. We'll name our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, Precision Player of the Game, brought to you by RDK Enterprises of Hillsborough and Drayton as well. It's part of our post-game report. We're going to try and catch up with Peter Knapps, head coach of the Nuggets as well, in their victory 19-6 over Frazee tonight on YourLiveEvent.com.
It's Cleaner with Gleaner. Gleaner Combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Have you been seeing the demonstrations of these Gleaner Combines? Check with Chuck or Neil for details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. New trade-ins at Ziegler Ag Equipment, 31-foot bore go, chisel plow with 3-bar harrow, just in S205 Melrose Bobcat, local trade, 1,580 hours. Talk with Chuck or Neil for pricing and more information. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Back here in our post-game report, let's name our Enbridge Energy players of the game here tonight. I got one from each team that I'm going to go with. Enbridge Energy, life takes energy. Enbridge Energy for life. Log on to enbridge.com for career opportunities with Enbridge Energy. Bringing us our energy players of the game. I thought on the Hawley Nuggets side here tonight, bringing a lot of energy on both sides of the ball. On the offensive and defensive side, offensively had a nice game here with the receptions. As one of their receivers, 6 grabs for 146 yards. Didn't have any of the touchdowns, but came up with some big plays here tonight on some nice passes from Noah Nelson here this evening. Levi Lelm is going to be one of our Enbridge Energy players of the game here tonight in the Hawley Nuggets victory 19-6 over Frazee. And I'm also going to go with the guy you have to, who brought a lot of energy on that Frazee side. He was taking guys with him. He was powering his way right through the defense. He didn't care if there was guys in his way or not. He was going to try and knock them over. He had 26 of the team's 41 carries, had 126 of the team's 154 yards on the ground. Brady Crabtree is also an Enbridge Energy player of the game here tonight as well in the loss for the Frazee Hornets by a score of 19-6. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to chat with the head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, Peter Knapps, and their victory here tonight. Back with more on our post-game report right after this.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Back here in our post-game report, 19-6, Hawley over Frazee in high school football action tonight. Peter Knapps, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, joining us after the victory on Friday night in their home opener and coming away with the win over the Frazee Hornets. But no easy task. A section matchup, a conference matchup for you guys, and a hard-hitting game between these two teams. Give me your thoughts after this one tonight.
Well, I think we're really happy with getting out of here with the win tonight. We played well for stretches. We made some mistakes along the way as well, but that's football. That's high school sports, and I'm very pleased with our kids' effort tonight. We're beat up, we're worn out, but kids played hard tonight, and we grew a lot. We learned a lot this week. We fixed a lot at practice. Our kids had great attitudes coming back, and Noah made some better decisions this week. He can still get better. We got defensive players that got knocked around tonight in cramps, and we finished with 3 non-starting linebackers on defense for the whole fourth quarter, and then a good portion of the third quarter. And that's just our kids stepping up and really starting to get into accepting their roles. We've had kids play last week and didn't get to play much this week. They were just as into it and just as excited tonight for the win as anybody was.
Like you say, there's stretches here and points throughout the game that come through that are the positives. What are as a coaching staff? What did you see tonight that were maybe the most positive that you maybe didn't see in game number 1 against Perham?
Well, I think enthusiasm throughout on the sidelines, and I think that a lot of that credit has to go to the upperclassmen and the varsity players. They asked this week if we couldn't have all the freshmen come and dress and bring that extra juice and that extra energy on the sidelines, and they did a great job of that tonight. So I give a lot of credit to our upperclassmen to say, hey, we want these younger guys to be out here and be part of the team, and I think that shows a lot of maturity and a lot of consideration for others, and they want the team to be a team, and they want everybody included. So I'm very, very proud of that effort and that decision, and the guts of the kids to come and say they want to change something. We keep telling them that they need to take ownership of this, and this is their team. And when you get down to it, if you're going to say that and not honor their wishes, you're feeding them a line of bull, and that's not what we're into.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like you say. I mean, to have high school kids that are really taking ownership in what they want to do and seeing things that maybe they didn't like last year that you come into this year and say we can correct that, we can make that better, and make this our own thing. I'm sure that's fun to see for you guys too, leading into days of practice and games.
Yeah, it is, and we've had. This is something new this year too. When we voted on captains, we had 2 juniors that were in the top 4 vote getters, and to have captains that are juniors, captains that are seniors, and have them work together and take that role seriously and put time in with each other, and then to really bounce things off of one another, and then to come and talk to us as coaches, and that's pretty cool to see that happen, and we're so excited to get a win here and get things rolling. I think this is a beginning of something that's going to be really good by the time we get to October and hopefully into November.
And like you were mentioning too, in that fourth quarter, you had guys that maybe weren't in positions that they're familiar with or haven't played before, but it seemed like even throughout the game, it was such a good mix of guys that were stepping up at different roles. It wasn't just one player or you're going to 1 or 2 different players. It was so many different ones that you're going to that kept Frazee on their toes and had to realize, okay, they're not just keying on the one person. They're finding different receivers. They're going with different running backs and all that.
Yeah, and the kids are learning from week 1 to week 2. We are as coaches too. We're starting to get more into everything, into each other's stuff, and helping overall with subbing, noticing that somebody's tired or needs to come out or whatever, just being more familiar with the kids after 1 week. When do they need to rotate? When do we have to rotate kids in? How do we have to try to keep them fresh, and where? Which side of the ball can we rest a kid, and which side of the can't we? And we found out tonight that Alex Paulson is a heck of a center compared to what last week. We got tired and things didn't work out. Alex, being a senior captain, offensive lineman, defensive tackle, said, hey, I'll give it a shot. So we had all of our linemen line up and start shooting snaps back 5 yards, and he was spot on all the way through, and Noah dumped one right in his face that he lost. But then, and I think Alex had one late in the second half. There was a dribbler back that didn't go very well. But other than that, it was pretty good. We're pretty excited about that, and we just got to keep getting better. Our kids are enthused, and I think there are big things ahead for us, and I think the kids believe as well, and that's what we're trying to get them to do, is believe in themselves and their talent and their skills.
Was it a lot of cramping going on tonight, or were there some actual injuries that were going on?
No, I don't think. I think Noah took a shot in the hip down here in the first half, either first half or third quarter, but it was all cramping. I don't think we had anybody get banged up physically with any injuries. It was all cramping.
Okay, good deal. Roseau, you've got a long road trip that's actually going to be on Thursday night. You guys are going to be going up there for a 6 o'clock game. Know much about the Rams coming into this next week?
No, it's been a few years since we played them, and they just joined our section now, and we're going to get on that on Sunday night and get things rolling. We got to have a quick turnaround and a quick week of practice and long road trip. And so, no, I don't know anything about them right now. I just know they had frost up there yesterday morning and maybe some today, too. That's all I know about Roseau right now.
Yeah, and they're probably getting the grunt of the smoke from the Canadian border, I suppose.
Yeah, well, let's hope we got a south wind for the next 6-7 days.
Yeah, exactly. And push some of that out of there. So, well, Coach, appreciate the time. Congratulations on the victory. We'll let you get going here, and we'll catch you next time here in the home field in a few weeks. So good luck to you guys over the next couple of weeks.
All right, thanks, Philco. Appreciate the coverage.
Thank you. Peter Knapps, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, joining us after the victory over Frazee, 19-6 on Friday night. We'll keep her right here. Let's wrap things up here. Our RDK Enterprise Precision Players of the Game. Grab there it is right in front of me. RDK Enterprises, Hillsborough and Drayton. For precision planting updates, information, questions, contact RDK Enterprises, Hillsborough and Drayton, 701-636-2119, or visit planterdoc.com. RDK Enterprises, here to help you. PlanterDoc, that's PLANTERDOC.com. Precision player of the game, being pretty precise on a lot of these passes here tonight, going 11 of 19 on the air with 195 yards passing, including a touchdown. Noah Nelson is going to be one of our precision players of the game. I just thought he controlled the offensive tempo very well in that quarterback position. From what I was told, feeling a little more comfortable here tonight compared to that first game jitters that they probably had on the road in Perham last week. So seeing some better things out of junior quarterback Noah Nelson. He's one of our RDK Enterprises precision players of the game. And when it comes to the defensive side, too, I thought one player that was very precise, was in on a lot of tackles, made a lot of great things happen up on the front part of that line, was number 64 there, Blake Bigger. At 6'2", 225, he just did a very nice job of not only keying in on some of those runners that were coming across or wreaking some havoc throughout the night, but he also did a really nice job of wrapping up on some of those hard-nosed runners that they had in the backfield for Frazee. So very nice job on that defensive side. Blake Bigger is also an RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game, brought to you by RDK Enterprises, Hillsborough and Drayton. That'll wrap things up from Hawley here tonight. Special thanks to all of our sponsors for helping make the broadcast possible. Without them, these games would not be aired on the broadcast with YourLiveEvent.com, R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, and Halstead Telephone Company. We ask that you patronize them at the very least. Tell them thank you when you get a chance to see them. Also, thanks to Nathan Stoa joining me here tonight, doing some color commentary. A great job as always. Appreciate his work and what he does for us here. Grant Anderson, sophomore from Hawley High School, was our videographer, providing the video that you see here on our broadcast as well throughout the night. Thank you very much to Grant, doing a great job here this evening to help us out as well. And to you, the listener, for tuning in to our coverage on YourLiveEvent.com, where the Hawley Nuggets come away with their first victory, 19-6 over Frazee here tonight. Also, a very special thank you to Alex Paulson for joining me in the pregame show, talking a little bit about his tribute that he's got going on with his late uncle, Ross Brennan, and those that participated in giving me some information, including Ross's former UND coach, Dale Lennon, and also his best friend from high school and his college days, Caleb Johnson, for providing us some memories and stories to add to that program that we had in the pregame show. So very much appreciated for that, to make it a little extra special for one of the seniors here tonight on the Hawley Nuggets football team and our first broadcast of the home games here for the Hawley Nuggets. Signing off from Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex, I am Kurt Fillion. Have a great night, a great weekend, and we'll catch you at the next home game that will be coming up in a few weeks on YourLiveEvent.com. Good night, everyone.